works. So I would have to check on that to work out exactly what you could do there. I am sure there's going to be all sorts of like exploits and like random issues around pausing and checkpoints as well, and like all of those things. Like I just have a feeling that there's going to be stuff. Like we obviously do our best to think of these, but I'm sure there's going to be some stuff. So there might have to be some tweaks to the rules later on here. But as far as I know, you can do that. I believe. So I'm pretty sure what should happen is I think that for maps, the last checkpoint is like still in the map room.
Yeah.
Because there's no checkpoints in map. So I'm pretty sure what would happen is they'd go outside the map, they would be standing where the portals are, and if there's a portal available, they'll be able to go through that portal. And so if you moved the portal close to the boss fight before you went into it, because you can't use the portal while in the boss fight, then that would mean they'd be outside the boss fight. And so long as there's a way to get into the boss fight after the fact, it should work. So as far as I know, that should be how it works at the moment. But as I said, there might be individual rules that we can add or remove or whatever. Like there'll probably be tweaks to this, I'm sure.
Cool. Also, chat really wants me to correct you and say it's we call it swirly.
What? Okay. For some reason, people around here call them seashelling.
Right.
I don't know where that. Maybe that's just in GGG slang for this.
That's funny.
Okay.
I mean,
it apparently looks like a seashell.
That is really cool, though. I'm obviously a little bit biased. Like, I would love to run like a boss service where I'm like coming to rescue people. So that'd be very fun.
Well, as far as I know, that should be possible.
What's up, boys and grills? How's it going?
Cool. A little bit of like more random.
Likewise, Oriel, I hope you too, man.
How do you
or
feel
Miss
about, like,
Bloodfire, hello, Mr. Trickout too. What up?
That aren't necessarily like the core game.
Just clicked on going live once because I just got to PC. Clicked on live with this interview. Got a blast.
Some people find that stuff fun.
So no intro for now.
Games in PoE is more like the different league mechanics.
How you guys doing today? How are we doing today? What's up, Shreddy? What up, dude?
But I know people have been wanting a fishing minigame for a long time. I guess look, we have boat support now, right? Like,
I know.
From the hideout. so you never know, I guess.
Cool. Two-factor authentication, is that something we can see improvements of in PoE 2?
So this is one of those things where like it's trivially easy to add two-factor authentication. The hard part is all the support policy around what happens when people lose their second factor. And it's like okay, so like how do you verify someone who's lost the second factor? And then like that's a whole thing that's all drama.
Have you put a Discord notification? Got you fast. All right. Good there, bro. Hey, my man. What's up, Ivan?
That kind of stuff.
07, bro.
Notoriously, like you have said this thing, and then people say, "Oh, you should just tell people that if they add two-factor, then if they do the second factor, they're just hosed." And it's like, well, you can say that now. You say that right up to the point you do lose your second factor, and then you're like, "Why is there no recovery process for this?" You know what I mean? Like there has to be a recovery process. And then it's like, okay, so then how do we verify it? So then people are like, "Oh, you could like take government ID," and it's like, okay, well now there's like GDPR.
Welcome back, Ivan. Good to see you, bro.
Hello. And it's like it's just kind of an endless rabbit hole of like random policy and horrible stuff. And so like we should have it, right? Like absolutely, we should 100%. We should have two-factor. We just don't, and it's all because of that, like the tricky stuff around this. And like one day, I just have no doubt we will implement this. Yeah, it's we just need to dig ourselves out of the hole of all the policy issues with around support for this. That's the thing. And so what I will say though is just as a thing is that you can effectively outsource the two-factor on your account by using Steam if you want, because they have two-factor. And if Steam is the only login method on your account, then effectively you're just relying on their two-factor to be able to work. So you still have that option at least. Right. But yeah, we should add two-factor to the regular login system, and I want to add two-factor to the regular login system. It's just a question of getting time to sort through all the problems with it.
Speaking of regular login system, I can't remember if this was already confirmed, but do we still have...
Yeah, dude, I will be playing Titan of Warrior. Yep. Titan is the Ascendancy. Excellent. And I already made like my build plans and ideas for early access if you want to take a look. So double 200, bro. There we go.
Of support gems, right? I can only use element control destruction on one gem. I can't use it on two gems.
Right.
Is that rule still the same on my weapon swap? Let's say that I have a lightning ability in one weapon swap and a cold ability in the other, but on both of these main gems, I want to use control destruction.
So
that's for like the year, Ivan. You plan anything? Plan to play the same?
There's one per character. It doesn't relate to weapon swap. Because the thing I just want to clarify around this is that like it's not like you've got slots that are just like one versus the other, right? Like when you look at your skill screen, they're all just on one screen. That you just get to enable or disable certain skills for being used by a certain weapon swap. So there's no like as far as the question goes, like it is one for your entire character.
Okay. When we saw like videos, somebody had a video going through the settings and stuff like that, and I did not see lockstep or predictive being there. Is that still a thing?
Why wouldn't it have been there? It should have been there. Okay, so
Apparently, it's
it should
only
have.
on the
I'm
menu
not sure.
screen.
Oh yeah. Because you can't change it while you're in your while you're in game. But yeah, it should be there. As far as I know. One thing I will say is that predictive with WSD. Sorry, not predict. Okay, let me get this right. Okay, so there is a mode called hybrid. And I think that with WSD, predictive turns into hybrid, but I'm not sure whether or not they've actually like fiddled around with the interface of this. Hybrid is the mode that consoles use. But I don't think it tells you about it because I don't think there's a setting for it on consoles. Right. But effectively, what that is, it's like it's somewhere in between predictive and lockstep. I guess I could like, and effectively, what it is that. This is kind of irrelevant, but effectively, with lockstep, when there's lag, internet lag, the whole game freezes. And with predictive, when there's internet lag, the game does not freeze. Hybrid is a mode where we still use predictive networking, but we still freeze everything when the server hasn't replied to you, and that's just because it keeps everything in sync a little bit better, but prevents some of the issues that you get in predictive. That mode just works a bit better when you're using direct control WSD versus and stuff without causing too many desync issues. So that's just a random detail there. But yeah, as far as I know, they still work, and they should be fine. What I worry about. And this is just random speculation on my part, is that like pretty much everyone in GGG means is that like I worry that there won't be as much testing in predictive, and there could be like issues that happen in predictive that we're just not aware of because of the fact that like everyone's just playing in lockstep all the time. So it probably hasn't received the same testing as what what lockstep gets. So I would suggest to you play in lockstep if you can. Obviously, the issue is when your high latency is high. But that's the sort of stuff that will be that I'm sure will get more testing as we go into early access as well. But yeah, just random thing.
A question I just thought of was in PoE 1, a thing that can happen is assets loading and being invisible if there were already loading ones. Is that a fixed thing in PoE 2?
Unfortunately, that's not fixed, and this is something that really, really bothers me. But look, it's something that we're going to be like. I really want to fix that. I really, really want to fix it. Like it's the worst thing to me is that occurring. So we'll get to the point where that can occur. It's actually been made harder in PoE 2 because of the fact the assets are larger in general. You know, like higher resolution textures and higher resolution like models and stuff like that. So. I don't think it will necessarily be worse or anything, but yeah, it really sucks to me whenever a thing doesn't load. And so this is a thing that we will be working on and improving over time. I want to get to the point where it's just 100% the case that you never see an asset pop. Like that would be ideal.
Awesome.
Yeah. But we'll work towards that, but we aren't there yet.
Cool. A lot of people are asking about pre-download, being especially for people with slow connections, being able to
pre-download, boys. Here we go.
Downloading the files before the 6th.
So the concern there would be what do you call it? Data mining. Yeah, that's the concern with that.
My question is pre-download / data mining.
Yeah. I'll like we're definitely more vulnerable to data mining for PoE 2 than we are in PoE 1 usually, just because you know, like there's so much more new stuff, like just the whole campaign being something people haven't played. You know, so like it's that would be the concern. I guess I do understand the why you'd want this though. So I guess I'll just have to talk to. I guess I just have to talk and see how we feel about it. Like, yeah, the concern is data mining, though. That would be the reason not to do it. That would be that's really the issue.
I'm a big fan of like that it hasn't been data mined yet. At least I love that.
I agree. Me too.
It will be interesting to see how fast the data mining occurs. Like, obviously, when you've got a thing like this, like a lot of people. Now, we do have some stuff to improve the like certain things will be harder to data mine than they were in the past. But on the other hand, there are some things the client just has to have, and if the client has to have it, then there's just no way to prevent data mining of it because, like, you know, it has to be on the client for the client to be able to be able to see a mod on the client. The client has to have the text of the mod, right? Yeah. So on some level, you've got to have that stuff. So yeah.
Cool, makes sense. Is rarity multiplicative or additive with map/monster rarity?
Hard questions, man.
So player rarity is multiplicative with the map rarity. Yeah. Okay. So that's still the case.
Right. Yeah. A question about what leagues are, because obviously we are still going to have leagues in PoE 2. What are they going to be based around? Right now they're being inspired by other games. Is that still going to be the case?
Oh, I mean, that's always the case, right? We're always looking at other mechanics. I mean, ultimately, it comes down to what is cool. And so that means that all we're really doing when we're looking at other games is like, is there something we can notice here that could inspire us to be cool? But like, it doesn't have to be another game. It could be a movie or like just some random other thing. Like, you never know where the inspiration is going to come from. But that stuff can definitely happen. Just, you know, can we come up with a cool mechanic? That's all it comes down to.
Yeah. Is there any game off the top of your head that you're like, oh, do we really like want to find a way to like get this in PoE that like inspires you?
I don't know that I can name one right now. If it's like anything that would have happened like that, we probably already made a league for it. Yeah. So it would have to be something recent, and we haven't been talking about leagues in PoE 2 yet, so we haven't had like a brainstorming session about that yet. Yeah. So yeah, as I said, I don't think I can come up with one at the moment.
Awesome. And it's pretty much the final question here. I kind of tried to avoid open-ended questions, but is there any particular large engine changes with PoE 2 that allows you to do something that you've always wanted to do in PoE 1, but you weren't able to?
So most of the changes, like engine-wise, are actually on PoE 1's engine because we wanted to merge them so that we can make all the assets transfer. Yeah. Probably one of the largest changes that is different between PoE 1 and 2 is the global illumination system. And what that kind of means is that so like any and this was like we had GI in PoE 1 as well, but it kind of works differently. So like effectively, the nice thing that you can do with a really good GI is that you can light objects without having to actually place lights in them. Like they just get lit by the glowing parts. Okay. And so you just get a really nice like soft form of lighting from certain things. And certain areas can actually be lit entirely with the GI system, which is just really nice. Like you get the ability to do some lighting that's just really quite different than what PoE 1 has been capable of. Nice. So yeah, like that's pretty cool. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that like we didn't actually port over, but not really. Like, because we've tried to get everything as much as possible to be the same. Just for asset portability. There's quite a lot of stuff to do with like one of the engine features we have is the ability to read this is like real technical stuff, but to read the material that's on the ground and use that in the shader of a thing that's sitting on top. Yeah. And that lets you do things like, for example, we use that in the, the bear slam. Yeah. When the bear does a slam, like the actual ground that's under the bear, like the chunks of rubble that come up are like red from the ground that's actually there. So that kind of like fits to the area. So that's kind of cool. That's very cool. And there's a few, that's actually used quite a lot, like in more subtle ways. The bear is like really obvious because it's like big chunks of terrain that kind of come up. So that's like another one. That's very cool. What's another one that's like PoE 2 only? I'm not sure. As I said, most of the things get moved over. Like, I mean, look, one of the things that's gone on generally is that all of the we've upgraded the part. So we used to use in PoE 1 originally a like CPU based particle system, and then for most of PoE 2's development, we've had this like GPU based particle system, and that just means that the particles can look way nicer. And like that is available in PoE 1, but it's just like all those assets were made like a long time ago, right? So they all use the old system. So like just what we're doing with particle systems now is just like way cooler, in my opinion. Like just like a lot of the graphics, like there's stuff like the particles will respond to like wind in the environment. Yeah. So like if you have like explosions, you can have like wind events on the explosions that will cause like other particles that are around to just get pushed away and stuff like that. Like there's just like little cool things like that. That's awesome. Yeah, so I don't know. There's just like there's nice little touches, but as I said, all that stuff is theoretically available in PoE 1. It's just it would require us like redoing a bunch of effects to actually take advantage of it. Yeah, probably some of the newer stuff in the leagues probably does, but most stuff isn't that. Yeah. I don't know, hopefully that answers some of those questions.
No, that was great. Actually, I thought of another thing. Guild tabs. Guilds are not transferring over to PoE 2. What about guild
great question.
tabs?
So because of the fact the guild isn't, it means the stash tabs aren't either. And that's kind of unfortunate because I would want that to happen. But in order to, the guilds just aren't integrated across both games. So therefore, because one guild owns the tab, and that guild isn't across, like, therefore the tabs are where they are. And as I said, that's really not a like policy decision. It's just a kind of technical decision. So I suppose in order to fix that, we'd have to merge the guilds of PoE 1 and 2. And like, I wouldn't even be against that idea. It's just requires more work than what we have time to do, unfortunately.
So the answer is basically we will have to buy the stash tabs again, right?
You will for that, yes, unfortunately. But as I said, I just wish that wasn't the case, but it just is, unfortunately, just due to the way that we couldn't get the guilds merged.
No, that's fine. Sarah, is PoE Mobile still being worked on?
It's not being worked on right now. Like we put it on hold when we like as we realized that we needed the resources, and effectively the people who were working on that, they then were the ones who then were taking over the console interface for PoE 2. So what that meant was that we suddenly had a team that could actually like work on all that stuff and like do all the work that we need to do for console. So the intention would be that when we get to the point of like feeling comfortable with like PoE 2 is fine, like all the interface stuff is like all resolved, like we're out of early access, we're kind of like everything's good, then would be keen to restart the console version, the mobile version again. But for the time being, we're not working on it, and we'll just have to get to the point where like feel okay, the console version of PoE 2 is like is good enough that we can get some of the resources and move them over again.
Awesome. I don't know if the last one's like a question. I just want to throw my hat in the oh my god, please let us mute other player sounds. I hate the goblin troops. I want to throw my hat in that.
Okay.
So much.
Understood. Yeah, understood. I'll talk to them about it.
Awesome. That was pretty much all the questions I had. Like, thank you so much. Like, we are a few days out for launch and you're taking time to do this. We all the community super appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Most of it. God damn it.
Very excited to play PoE 2 when it comes out.
Yeah, damn it.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much for for giving me a chance to talk to you guys again. It's always fun.
Awesome. Yeah. Thank you so much. And for everybody watching on both YouTube and Twitch,
all right.
Try to die. Less than the servers do. Awesome. All right, bye. Thank you so much.
You. Bye. No problem. All right. I've got someone to... I have to go shut off the stream myself, I guess. All right.
Nah, that's all good. Thank you. Bye.
All right. Thank you. Bye.
Awesome.
Man, that was sick.
There it is, chat.
That was sick, bro. Holy raspberry.
That went pretty well. I didn't cough too much. I'm still pretty sick, but
I haven't subbed to disease yet. What? You murder man with foul. Thank you very much, bro. Thank you, sir.
Man, it's
Force is dying, dude.
It's so split. Whenever I ask a question, there's like some people like that's the dumbest fucking question I've ever heard, and some people are like that's amazing, and I'm like, bruh. I guess that means they're good questions. If
Rape, man, rape. Yo, new Dream Core video just launched, by the way. Talk about Blood Mage, bro. This is what I wanted to play as well as one of the versions for the Slimer build. Oh, the Slimer. Oh my god, it was loud. Another video from Bajira. Just launched this one. I think these should be all bosses he put together. I think. Yep. And he made me actually thirsty hives right now. I don't drink them, but if I want raspberry drink, I just go neck. A raspberry creatine. Man, I need to get me some creatine, dude. I need to get me some creatines. I ain't got some, dude. I ain't got none. Dude, the intro for this video is pretty crazy, man. It's pretty crazy. Fucking Sajin saw my comment on this stream, man. Yo, what's up, Frosty? Get yourself some coffee? Man, Frosty, I ran out of coffee. I got nothing, bro. I got nothing. Ah, damn it. Unlucky. Unlucky. Anyways, let's go after this one. Let's go after this one. Yeah, this is the drama with the Factual Life getting the extra access and leaking some footage and guides and whatnot.
Stop it.
Me and friends going hardcore WoW instead of PoE 2. What the fuck, bro? You might link up with Fame because he's doing the same right now as we speak. Yeah.
Get some help.
Beyond saving, bro. No help.
Welcome to another video. We've finally made
Perfect meme to come up on video with the response. I know, right? Imagine, what up, Sajin? Imagine, dude. Sajin, what did I miss with the interview? Because I got on once you told me about the message with the servers, stability and all that. So
made it to launch week and we're just 4 days away.
okay.
In this one, I wanted to do a bit of discussion on the Witch Ascendancy, the Blood Mage, and the Blood Magic Keystone. Let's first take a look at the Blood Mage. So we know 4 of the Blood Mage's Ascendancy notables listed here. The Sanguimancy notable must be taken by all Blood Mages. It's the first node and you must path through here to get to any.
Cute little heart. Oh, they're pushing for 2 milk server capacity before EA launch though, to make sure they're covered. Oh, dude, but can you even imagine? All right, can you imagine that a game in early access would have over 1 million players? No other game has done that, dude. That's just insane. That's ridiculous, dude. That's crazy. Even 500,000 is crazy for a non-full launch. That is.
Any of the other nodes. Now, I know that some people weren't too happy about the idea of a compulsory.
What is it? 1 crit damage per 20 life? Holy gore spike! Log in. This seems pretty powerful, dude. Often, no one can play. No one can play right now. It releases in 4 days. Do you see the countdown above me? That's when we can play. Until then, no one can. 35 stream streak, baby. Look at that. Another one. He doesn't think they will go over 1 million, but he doesn't want to take the risk. See, person doesn't think that, huh? Churak, no use threats. But a beautiful one. You can play, but you won't break NDA. Ah, I see how it is. I see how it is. Well, fair play, bro. I appreciate it, headshot. Let's slide my DMs with some guides. Thank you. Spell damage leached as life. So, wait. Wait a minute. If I was playing a slammer build on Blood Mage, is this even possible to play melee? Or just not pick this node with the spell damage? Ulfhednar incoming? Or with the guide? Or is it Sejin? Does Ignite proc this as well? The spell leech? Is Ignite as a spell category for this shit? I just don't pick that. Gain energy shield from equipped body armor is an extra max. You stack energy shield and you get max life. Holy! Up Rex. It's hit only for leech and Ignite does a dot. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Thank you. Thanks for the follow, Rex. I appreciate it, bro. Skills gain a base life cost equal to base mana cost. So skills only cost life, not mana here. Life orbs drop on kill.
Any of the other nodes. Now, I know that some people weren't too happy about the idea of a compulsory notable on an ascendancy. Personally, I am a fan of this. I wouldn't like it if every ascendancy had it, but the idea of a few ascendancies having to take a notable which completely defines the class is quite a novel concept. And I think it makes a ton of sense on this ascendancy in particular, considering what the node does. Sanguimancy makes skills gain a base life cost equal to mana cost, and in exchange, a passive ability called Life Remnants is gained. Life Remnants causes monsters to drop
oh, they cause both life and mana. Oh, okay.
red orbs on death, which can be picked up to gain life. Now, one of the most important parts of this skill was actually missed out of the official livestream reveal by accident, and that's that the life...
Alright, hold on. Bone Scratcher, thanks for the follow. Apparently, chat, there is a closed beta for PoE right now. I'm looking at a screenshot from someone who is actually in-game and people are talking in chat. All closed beta until Friday, apparently. Excuse me? I'm playing right now, smile. It's not me, chat. So, headshot, you actually leaked yourself, huh? You're testing some shit? Oh, for real? You didn't know? You did? Closes Friday AM? Is it like media? Is it access for media, or who is this for? Or other people? Is it mortals that have access and blasting right now? Until Friday? Oh my lordy, bro. I mean, that kind of makes sense, right? That makes sense. Is the people who were in other tests as well? Wait, there was some guy, my boy Mew. Mew missed his email for closed beta for PoE 2 before. Where's he at? Check email for closed beta access. There is one ongoing. Friday. Interesting. Okay. Okay. Well, it ain't us, boys. It ain't us. Spends plus 4+ hours a day watching leaks and doesn't even know? Because I was gone today, man, for the whole day. Must be like a new thing, you know? If I was playing, I would stream it to Discord for, oh, what a nice guy, man, this headshot. What a nice guy, dude. I haven't heard anyone talk about closed beta until Friday. This is news to me. What's up, Captain on YouTube? What up, bro?
Life gained from picking up the life remnants can overflow maximum life, up to twice your normal maximum.
I'll go into the Blood Mage one at least. So one thing I should mention about that is that it does allow you to overcap your life by double, which is something that I didn't mention in the video, but it's kind of important, right? So effectively, if you're picking up those orbs, then you can get to double the amount of life that you normally have. So yeah.
I'll link the time-stamped question from the Dark
That's actually pretty insane, bro.
And the Ghazi interview with
Pretty damage
Jonathan, where
stacking,
he goes
insane.
over
Let's
that
go.
mechanic in the description below if you're interested.
You play Helldivers? Nope, never did.
So, Overflow is a new mechanic in PoE 2, and we don't really know too much about it. What we do know is that Overflow doesn't count as a maximum resource for the purpose of scaling. You can see that in this footage here with the Invoker Monk Ascendancy using the Meditate skill, which overflows maximum energy shield. Current energy shield is doubled, but maximum energy shield remains the same. However, we're lacking some of the really important information about overflowed resources.
Jonathan said it's really hard to reach 100% crit chance. Ayo. So, things like Sunder, that is guaranteed crit chance, bro. From Blood Mage? Oh my god, dude. That sounds better and better. You know what? I think my goal. What's your goal for PoE, guys? When it comes to like, well, just in general with classes and whatnot, like in the long term, I would probably try out like 3 ascendancies for a slam build. Which one is the best? Because there's a good synergy for Blood Mage for slam build, right? Warrior, Titan, the classic, and then probably Gemling for the quality for gems and more skills. That's a good game, Captain. I know, man. I know my friend is playing it, and yeah, or played it. Yeah, the crit might be, yeah. So outside of Sunder, I would probably not even try it. A long-term goal is to do a hardcore run. Okay. What's up, Shadow? Crit chance, poison freeze, consume freeze, 100% crit chance. Yeah, there we go. Similar story, huh? Similar story.
Resources, such as how long does overflow last by default? Will your recovery apply to overflowed resources? And will you be able to spend overflowed resources for skill costs? All of these things are important to see just how useful this mechanic will be. Now, as far as Sanguimancy and the Life Remnants ability goes, the importance of Overflow not counting towards maximum life is realised on another Ascendancy notable, Gore Spike, which makes you have 1% increased critical damage bonus per 20 life. The wording on this notable implies that the bonus is scaled based on your current life, which will of course include any overflowed life that you have from Life Remnants, but perhaps more importantly than that, this means that when you take a lot of damage and your life is not full, your
You know what confused the heck out of me? In Expedition mode, you have Remnants, and that refers to elites, right? Or mobs in there. When he talks about it, just confused the heck out of me. PoE 2 will be a free game when it releases in a year from now, or at least 6 months. But for early access launching in 4 days, it's $30 minimum.
bonus will drop off, and it also means that the node has an anti-synergy with a low-life concept that's trying to make use of Pain Attunement, because your current life will always be significantly lower, diminishing the critical damage bonus gained from Gore Spike. Now, the usefulness of Life Remnants is unquestionable in a mapping environment, where you're killing monsters often enough to benefit from the recovery and the overflowed life that the orbs provide. But the big question for me is how useful this skill will be for bossing. How many bosses will have adds, and how often are those adds encountered? If there's no adds, is there a way that we can sacrifice our own minions to spawn Life Remnants? The answers to these questions will be vital to see how good the Blood Mage ends up performing. Alright, one of the other things I wanted to discuss in this video is the Blood Magic Keystone, in relation to the Blood Mage. Sanguimancy will make every skill that costs mana also cost life as well, And from everything that we've seen so far about the Blood Mage, it looks like you're going to want to be fully focused on scaling life and life recovery. And that's where Blood Magic comes in. This keystone has conveniently moved up on the tree from PoE 1, now finding itself in the middle between the Strength and Strength Intelligence starting areas, so it's much closer to the Witch. Blood Magic removes all of your mana and makes skills cost life instead of mana. This keystone...
You found out you're doing Stormweaver? Stormweaver, what up, Phil on YouTube? What up, dude? Hi, do you have a link for the build? I would like to see it. If you found a build for that, I guess you did.
Is really interesting because one of the massive opportunity costs of losing your mana pool that existed in PoE 1, which is reserving all of it against powerful auras, is gone in PoE 2 because of the introduction of Spirit. But how does the Sangomancy skill cost modifier interact with Blood Magic? Well...
Build? You know what I mean, Tejan. Come on now, bro. Or what does Stormweaver even mean, dude? It's gotta have a build meaning behind the name, right? That's what I mean, that's what I'm asking.
There's actually an item in PoE 1 that does exactly the same thing. The unique body armor, the Covenant. This item makes...
What's the, is the Ascendancy of the Sork? Oh, I'm a fucking boosted. That's the one I keep forgetting. I didn't know what it's called. Thank you. Okay. Now I know. No film over PoE, but the skill tree was huge. Phil, it is. It might be scary, intimidating, but my man, I'm telling you, if you read through the passives, really take your time reading through it all, and then skills and items, it will all make sense, dude. Also, can someone explain this? Skills gain a base life cost equal to base mana? What's the plus side here? Your skills will cost both, right? So what's happening? If you run out of mana, you can use your HP, or what's going on? What's going on? The energy shield 250%? Holy moly. 10% max life as well. That's a sick chest piece for this one. Oh, double. Stormweaver. Yeah, okay. Now I know. Actually, I was gonna make a build for this, Hives, because my broski Droton, he wants to play Lightning Mage as well. So, I might dig in, brother. I might dig in on this.
Skills gain a base life cost equal to 100% of base
Take
mana
easy,
cost.
Captain. Bye-bye, bro.
For example, if a skill has a cost of 19 mana, when you equip this item, it will now cost 19 mana and 19 life. But when you allocate Blood Magic, that same skill now has a cost of only 19 life, not 38 life as you may expect. And that's because the base cost of the skill is now 19 life due to Blood Magic, and therefore, since it no longer has a base mana cost, the modifier on the Covenant no longer has any effect. If this mechanic also translates over to the use of Blood Magic in combination with the Blood Mage Ascendancy in PoE 2, as I expect it will do, then this will be quite a beneficial combo to utilise, because the use of Blood Magic on this Ascendancy not only allows you to fully focus on life scaling, but it also essentially halves the base resource cost of your skills, since you're already forced to spend life with your skills due to the fact that you have to take Sangomancy, and so clicking on Blood Magic just removes the mana cost without increasing the life cost. If you had no other planned use for your mana pool, then removing it will simply make your life easier, no pun intended. Now, one last thing that I'll mention in this video, which is related to Blood Magic, is a conversation that I had with Octavian while I was at the PoE 2 event in LA.
Giga Gamer, bro.
We had just learned about the new flask system with just one life flask and one mana flask, and I asked him if the Blood Magic keystone should replace your mana flask with another life flask slot, as currently it just removes your mana, so your mana flask slot essentially becomes useless. He said that
Dude, this build looks amazing. Early on, this was what, Act 2, right? Look at the speed of sparks, man. This is amazing.
Your mana
clear.
flask with another life flask slot.
Build idea: spark for leveling and ball lightning later.
As currently, it just removes your mana, so your mana flask slot essentially becomes useless. He said that he didn't think it should because the keystone is already solving your skill costs, and that's the trade-off you're making. Before I asked that question, I thought that it probably should swap your mana flask slot out for another life flask. But after hearing his response and thinking about it a little bit, I think he's right. Because with the change to mana no longer being the default resource for reservations, blood magic has become a much better option as a method to solve skill costs for builds with good life recovery, as they no longer have to deal with the massive opportunity cost of losing their mana that they had in PoE 1. I thought that would be a nice tidbit to mention here for those wondering about the mana flask. Anyway, I just wanted to make this video about the Blood Mage and Blood Magic, as it's currently one of my top considerations to play for PoE 2's launch.
Finally, someone deciding to go for Blood Mage. What's going on, Jayhone? 07, brother. What up, what up? What is this Gamba? 13.293%. Just so you wait for me.
The Titan. I'm just not sure what to play just yet. I hope you enjoyed this video, and thanks for watching. And as always, stay tuned and stay safe.
Shreds, please don't. Banana pizza, please don't. Please don't. Dude, people really hate Vextra, bro. Holy. Yeah, damn. Let's see what Bajura is cooking over here. Oh, well, yeah. I mean, I don't blame people hating Vextra, of course. Oh, he's just sewing all the bosses here. Zashunko, hoba mit chili a tak dále. Oh, can you give me some as well?
Hammer and anvil. Stay back. Don't do this.
One skill, almost dead. Garlic, nom 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 nom. This is Bajira, yeah. I think in his video he combined all the boss fights together in one. Yeah, he did. Yeah. That's a lot of bosses, bro, for 24 minutes. Half time we watch it, seems like he gets clapped. Well, I mean, I don't know what to say, bro. This is Fury Warrior with this is a Fury Warrior player, right? He does not get to dual wield weapons yet, so that's probably why. We all will. True. Pure despair. Speak for yourself. I think people like Shreds and Kryzen will get absolutely carried by their 2D game experience and demolish this game, PoE 2. No. About the shots, man. He's playing on Sky highest difficulty when it was scaled to hard on the joystick console. Now it was much easier. No, this is the recent version from LA event, bro. There was no hard difficulty. What up, Frosty? We don't have Thanksgiving in Czech Republic, man, so another day in the office for me, dude. How about you, though? For real 2D games give you the big brain place? Surely, no doubt about that. Show the floor, PoE. Dude, seeing this boss on Warrior compared to the mage from the other guy who got the staff right before this fight, he 3-shot the boss almost, man. Meanwhile, this is pure struggle town. But I guess he went to 2 bosses early on. Without real gems and gear. I've seen the gameplay in the raids. That ain't it, coach. Is it that bad? Oh, should they cook, man? Should they cook how it is, how it looks? Oh shit, you're Sig Hives? Oh boy. Oh shit, dude. Gonna start punching, no wonder, dude, no wonder. Yeah. So much suffering on screen, 2-way, bro. Holy, this is me, man. This is me. Me in 4 days. Nah, surely not, right? 2-way, what are you gonna for? Actually, we talked about it, right? You're gonna play mage. Just a rhythm game. Once you figure it out, it's easy mode. Portals are disabled in boss fights. Yo, you see that? There is my webcam, but there it is, man. Portal disabled in boss fights. My boy went to get some easy flasks, huh? No. No. I might accidentally break my leg at work on Thursday. Hey, we can support you with that one, man. But surely. Surely.
The very Growwood turns against me.
There's so many bosses in the acts, dude. Bramblegast. Ayo, Bramble, log out. D4, hello. And this Act 1 boss still has more mechanics than Bramble being the endgame boss in D4. Nice. Yeah, see, for this boss, he already got the what's it called? The gem here, Fist of War. So it looks better. D4's mechanics. Called auto attacks. Crazy how the guild is not gonna be called Q Invaders, this name. Yeah, I don't know. I think I'll go for Q Invaders, dude. But what if there is no Q, though? You know?
This can't go on.
What if...
Last one.
Then we make one. Rust King, boys. That's definitely not happening. The Q. You're optimal with the foul. Thank you, bro. Optimal Asphalt. Interesting name, sir. Thank you and thank you. Runes of Power.
Go with honor.
Yeah, we would want some of that hype, though. You would want some of that, bro. I think this boss will be difficult, dude, with the sword. He attacks super fast. Hey, he got me acting up, dude. Little shotgun ability. Ooh. He almost, yeah, he just two-shot the totem too.
Crush them.
Smacked in the face. These auto attacks don't deal too bad damage. The name is cringy. It's what happens when you pick a username during early teenage years. Damn. So you're saying you'll be on Twitch for a while, huh? Hey man, Optimal Asphalt is pretty unique and original to me, so it doesn't sound too bad, man. Being honest here. Will there be guild stash? Of course. I heard that yes, there will be. But since they cannot convert PoE 1 stashes to PoE 2, then you will have to buy extra stashes there again. But yeah, man. Guild stash is confirmed, right? Someone correct me if I'm wrong, but that's why I want to make a guild so we can try, you know, get the gear in the stash and just, you know, whoever wants peace can get some of that. Hey, fun, I'm gonna watch one episode of Dune Prophecy. Did it already come out? Should go for beta tomorrow? Yeah, me too, me too. I'll be at it as well. Alright, take it easy, Shadow. Good night, bro. Little orb from Hells, of course. 3 episodes of Dune are already out. Okay, I'll take a look, man. I'll also check it out. Tui, did I ask you? You played a lot of PoE, right? Did you ever drop Mirror of Calandra? Have you ever dropped it? Any mirrors in guild tabs? I dibs it and followed the dibs rule at this fucking guy, man. Talk about mirroring pops in the chat. Tell you haven't? Okay. Spazzy, can you enlighten us again how quick you get a mirror in PoE? Any info guild member cap? Nope, I haven't heard anything like that. No clue. 10 years of playing PoE and zero mirror? Holy dude. You're like Jonathan. You haven't gotten a single one since release? Did you see the Sane not allowing MTX sharing across platforms? Whoa, that's news to me. Wait, why though? What? That's crazy. MTX sharing across platforms? That's wild. What is the reasoning for that? Multiple headhunters, mage bloods, of course. Gotcha. Okay. Day 3 or 4, current league right now. First ever drop, tier 6 yellow map. It's that easy, boy. In the current league, you get a mirror. What did you use it on, bro? What did you use it on, Spazzy? That's some crazy work, my man. Greed probably, like even stash tabs won't carry over. Oh, but that's messed up though. That's messed up. I mean, anti-X, it's already cooked, but the stash tabs? That's crazy. That's super greedy. Yeah. That's disgusting. Yeah, but it's nothing GG can do about it though, right? Damn. Nothing. First ever raw drop. Staying in the bank for the memories. Core memory unlocked. Okay, okay, I feel that. I feel that. This is PoE2, Mike. We are watching Bajira's video. He has a video of all bosses he played. I mean, he fought in the test. So we know the integration is there, but Sony is just being too annoying. Yeah. That's great. No, it's not me playing, man. No one can play right now, Mike. Well, there's a closed beta going on right now until Friday. This just so people can test some stuff, but no one can really play on stream more, you know, because all the closed beta is under NDA. Playing with himself? Yo, need a bank. I need to check right now. It's worth around 800 divines. Holy, what? Same. Ooh, right back at ya. Look at that. I actually have quite a huge loan in real life I need to pay off, so it's rough. That's pain. Best name? True dude. So this boss feel good as a pet, right? In the early access packs with the big bell. Didn't notice it until yesterday, dude. After watching the boss fight for like 5th time. I like the setting in this one. The gallows. I like the setting here, bro, with this boss. This reminds me of Lords of the Fallen. And this boss takes him a long time. Yo, what up, Drotun, brother? Hello, man. How's it going? How goes it? Big dog. Yo, big dog. He's auto-attacking. Yeah. Yeah, this is like what, 5th boss in Act 1 or whatever he just showed. And so far he's got like only 1 gem, it looks like, on the whatever. Talks about guild hideouts. If you give your supporter pack a hideout to it in PoE 1, you won't be able to use it in PoE 2. Can always then gift it to the guild you want the hideout in. Oh, damn. That's pretty weird, yeah. That's pretty odd. Pretty odd. Chat, do we think we will have queues on Friday? You guys think there are queues? Maybe you spam me with break armor? True. 4 days login. What's up, Lux? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Just watching some videos. Bajira just uploaded a boss video where he kills only bosses. Login emote is gone. I see it right there, dude. I see it right there. Is it like Diablo without servers over? Yeah. Just regions. Fresh with the fall. Thank you very much, broski. Thank you and thank you. What up, Crux? So nice stream. Thank you, man. Let's make a solid X shield build period. Crux, I hate to break it to you, but there are no axes, man. There are no axes that we want to play, my man. They will come out with the Marauder class, and they will be launched later after PoE 2. I mean after early access. But I'm gonna go with mace because that's what we have. We have no swords either, so we get maces, and yeah, big slammer, dude, big slammer. It's Diablo-like. Jay Warhammer, no, stop it. Hey, yo. I mean, yeah, you could technically do it, but that's that sounds disgusting, dude. I just had a PTSD flashback. What's up, Bezos? Look at this late night stream enjoyer. Hey, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. I was going for the whole day. Now we're at it though. That's the main thing. I haven't heard much on multiplayer in PoE 2 except for couch co-op. You can have 6 people in a group if you don't play as a multiplayer in PoE 2. And you will only see people in towns, just similar to PoE 1. You won't be able to see players outside of towns. You laugh. Steroid destroy. Yes. Turning your sleep schedule around so that you can blast PoE until morning every day. Ooh, well, nah, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. Well, I will do a 30-hour stream though on launch, so I gotta sleep before the stream on Friday. So I'll sleep for like, I don't know, man, from like I guess 12 to something like 5 p.m. Stocking out of, yeah, it's gonna be 30-hour, bro. I already hate it, Spazzy. I mean, it's not going to be 30-hour stream just for me. I'll be 30 hours awake. Yeah. Joining the Night Watch, my man. You'll figure it out. A weapon to support shield then. Yeah, for sure, for sure. Yeah, yeah. Well, the only thing, if you want to play a melee slammer, it's only 200 mace. I actually made a on YouTube. I made a build idea and my plans for early access crux. If you want to take a look, if you're a melee enjoyer. Yeah. Stacking up coffee, bro. I have no coffee right now. Isn't this Pinnacle Boss or not? This is the for the ritual. Well, you could call it Pinnacle Boss, yes, but this one is during the campaign. During the campaign in acts, you will have these quests that will kind of like take you through what you will do in endgame content, like Breach, the Ritual Expedition, and the Delirium. No worries, cracks. No worries, man. Got you. Got you. Four days, tomorrow it's 3 days. Oh my days, bro. But we just entered 3-day countdown, huh? Yo. Oh man. I have seen the nuttiest boss. Actually, I have seen the nuttiest boss try today on. I'm not sure if it was. I think it was Act 2 boss, and the guy died 3 times. He tried it for the 4th time and died on the last millimeter of HP. No health was left. Nah, he did nothing, man. The flasks are down here, not right now, but right here. He had nothing. Candlemas, the living right. Yo, look at those candles, man, on him. Cute, bro. So cute. Just kidding. Armor Breaker looks amazing as ability, but it does F all damage. Rip. Or just bad build. Easy. Nah. Fear Lizard, though. Pretty cool. He's just auto-attacking all these bosses. What up, Alex? Utility skill? I know. I know. Log in, Alex. 3 days and 20 hours. Not yet. Not yet. We gotta wait. Control support looks a lot better in PoE1. Yeah. Yeah. That's what people said. People said the same when they were playing the this Axis version, or whatever, on controller. It developed good. Hibernation chamber is needed. Yeah. Well, I cannot do that, man. Tomorrow, I really need to clean my apartment before the grind, dude. Need to clean the inside of PC as well. So gonna do that tomorrow. Do some YouTube too. Hit the gym, and then we're back at it, boys. Actually, tomorrow is D4 Season 7 PTR. I'll log in tomorrow. Gonna need one in the queue. Yep. Yep. Big loot right here. New mace as well. Hello. Might go Witch Hunter now. Can I decide? Build in Explosion and Ascendancy is just really good. Yeah, it sounds amazing, dude. It sounds amazing. I believe that's what Ziggy was playing, right? In this video, and that's why he went Witch Hunter for the explosion. I mean, that the explosion so whirl and grenades, man, that looks powerful. Especially AoE clear. AoE. Count Gionor. Is this the last boss in Act 1? I think it is. There was Act 3 playthrough. Who had it? Was it Havok? The effects are just not... Dude, the effects, the sound as well, sound effects and music is just absolute peak, dude. Can't wait to be dropping more of the gods for Giga Bleeds. Are you going for that, Sajin? Yeah, is it the same with Ignite? Because Ignite scales from the initial... Was it initial hit that it scales from? Is it the same for all ailments, such as Bleed? Bro, look at the transformation. Look at the transformation on the boss right here into Wolf. Oh, that's disgusting, dude. That's disgusting, but absolute cinema. Cool. Can't wait to get after this one, dude. After this boss. Because the mechanics looks nuts. Alongside my war cry, yeah? Nice. Which war cry though? Infernal? Or Seismic for a double? Most likely go Witch, but Inner Gamer wants Crossbow. Time to do them both, Alex. Time to do them both. Seismic, nice. Okay. Yeah, that sounds good. So you're gonna be... Oh yeah, you're gonna be playing a Bleed Shout build because of Corrupting Cry, right? Of course. His totem got frozen and smashed to pieces.
I will take out your heart and savor each bite.
Sajin, are you still struggling with the hype? With the game in general? That, like you told me last time? Is it still a struggle town? What the hell? Just chill now? Okay. It feels unreal. True, dude. Hey, yo, is this Bezos with the new sub badge? Hey, yo, bro. I don't see any notification, just your badge. No point anything else, right? Yeah. What's up, Jeremiah on YouTube? Mercenary all the way. This game will break Diablo player base for sure. Yeah. I mean, there is still a lot of casuals, man, that will just go into D4. There's a lot of people like that, dude. But yeah, I think this will open the eyes for a lot of players. Can I wait for all the D4 Andes to run back to Tome Lord after being sent to the Gulag? I think that's what's gonna happen as well, dude. I think that's what's gonna happen as well. I'm not gonna lie.
Upon this tyrant's soul.
Yeah, there we go. That was does he show drops? But he does, man. Wait, seriously, 2 items? Maybe get more from the quest? I don't know. That's pretty crazy though. They get mad AF on forums with people bringing up PoE 2. It's hilarious. Oh, dude, it's like the same. Yorichi, as it says in the command right here, brother. It's happening on Thursday. I'll be giving out the key on Thursday. And then 2 more giveaways on launch day or after on the Saturday and Sunday. Hey, my man Alex. Appreciate ya. Okay. Chat, do we have some more videos to watch? What do you think? What do you think? While I was gone today, is there anything new? Mana stacking Alley? She's got pretty good videos, dude.
To your introductory recruitment video to the Cult of Mana. I am so unbelievably excited to make this video. I've not been this excited for a video or anything.
4 hours? I think I saw a different video.
Very long time. Say with my near 8,000 hours in pathofexile and my extensive background in high-end competitive World of Warcraft theory crafting, I'm going to hold your hand and make this as new player friendly as possible and guide you through every single.
The Havik video? Oh, it was Havik, yeah. No. I was asking who got that video. But I haven't seen it, dude. Havok. PoE. Crazy, was it this one? November? This L event was in November? Ayo? Let's see some mercenary next, right here. You got it right here, Jeremiah. You got it right. He didn't spoil anything that hasn't been shown. What a chat. Damn. What a mad lad, dude. What a mad lad.
This is
I haven't seen the good builds a guy yet.
The November press event. During this introduction, I'll be reviewing my playthrough, discussing build progression, path-free routing, WASD versus click to move, and other interesting gameplay details before concluding with a question and answer section. It's important to note that while I'll be discussing my experience, this is not a guide, and any progression details shared are solely to provide context into various insights. Furthermore, it's worth repeating,
yeah, I just noticed.
the early access version may differ significantly from the press version I played. So with that out of the way, loading into the riverbanks. The first skill provided was fragmentation rounds, a single-use shotgun-like skill that pierces the first 2 targets it hits, generally doing more damage in close range, and not so much from afar. However, what caught my eye was Explosive Grenade, an area of effect fire explosion skill, with a 3-second cooldown, 3 uses, and a 2.5-second fuse duration, giving it the potential for a clear while moving playstyle. Yet similar to other runs, with just the starting weapon, no extra source of flat damage on gear, attack-based builds can generally feel weak, which meant the next step was to farm some gold, to either gamble, or in this case, purchase and craft a new weapon. This weapon in particular increased my damage by around 70%, providing a noticeable improvement in trash clear. Still, if your character level is equal to the zone level, bosses in pathofexile 2 can be quite tanky. For example, as a level 5 character in a level 5 zone, the Rusking took around 1 minute 33 seconds to kill. Whereas again as a level 5 character in a level 3 zone, the Devourer took only 40 seconds to be defeated. Which leads me to the following takeaway, to how to stay true for the whole playthrough. You can attempt to speedrun through progression, killing only a few mobs in each zone, slowly defeating bosses with well-planned combos and timely dodge rolls. Or, you can full clear zones, going out of the way to kill extra monsters, which on average should result in a higher level character, better gear, faster boss kills, and overall similar progression time. If you're looking for a recommendation for launch, I would recommend the latter, especially since many side bosses and side quests provide impactful character buffs. Moving forward to the graveyard, we had 3 new build additions: Flash Grenade, Multiple Projectiles, and Double Barrel Support. Flash Grenade is another cooldown based grenade, and serves 2 purposes, the first being to stun swarming enemies, allowing you to play aggressively, and secondly, to create DPS windows by staggering bosses. Multiple Projectile Support was of course linked to Explosive Grenade, and for the most part, enabled the clear while moving playstyle I desired. And lastly, Double Barrel Support was linked to Fragmentation Shot, increasing the ammo count from 1 to 2, with the downside of 30% less reload speed, which was worth it. Clear off stragglers more efficiently, and
grenades are hella chunking, bro. Yeah.
In terms of feeling, I would say once I had this setup, Mercenary started to feel good, most likely because I had tools to deal with swarming enemies, and also had enough AoE coverage to clear somewhat quickly. In terms of Act 1 difficulty, it was mostly smooth sailing, with only 3 deaths. The first occurring to Draven, where I failed to roll out of his AoE projectile slashes, and
destroyed, bro.
Both being situations where I got surrounded and tried to spam dodge roll to no avail. Other than boss fights or hard-hitting ranged monsters, getting swarmed is generally how you might die. So for those that are thinking about playing hardcore, I believe you could actually pull it off. given that you gear well, level above the zone level, and are tracking your mob controlling cooldowns. Now traveling forward, the next major skill acquisition was Rapid Shot, a rapid firing skill that heats up your crossbow as you attack. Buffing grenades, providing 6% of damage as extra fire damage per heat stack. So as you can imagine, the combo is to stagger bosses and stack heat with rapid fire before throwing explosive grenades. The strategy was generally effective at chunking bosses, if I could find a window to build stacks, an opportunity that wasn't always available, either due to boss AI or lack of character defense. Now, other than stacking life and equipping armor gear for physical damage mitigation, the biggest defensive lever was dynamically changing resist gear depending on the zone. This point is worth noting because in Acts 1 and 2, item resist affixes are generally quite low, which in combination with a minus 10% resist penalty per act can make capping
these bosses are
difficult.
insane.
The solution at the time...
Let me see it again, hold on.
For physical damage,
I haven't seen that boss yet, I think.
mitigation, the biggest defensive lever was dynamically changing resist gear depending on the zone. This point is worth noting because in Acts 1 and 2, item resist affixes are generally quite low, which in combination with a minus 10% resist penalty per act can make capping resist difficult. The solution at the time was to hot swap charms and resist rings, and on launch to also consider resist ruins. Skipping ahead to Act 3, we have two final skill additions, Explosive Shot and Oil Grenade. Explosive Shot is a detonator skill, which triggers any active grenades in its explosion radius. However, it requires multiple projectile support to be effective, meaning we'd have to remove it from Explosive Grenade, since in pathofexile 2, you can only use a single copy of any support gem. So to maintain Explosive Grenade coverage, I passed through cluster bombs on the passive tree, and exchanged my level 26 crossbow for this magic crossbow, with the grenade skills fire an additional projectile implicit. Despite lowering my tooltip DPS, the extra projectile was worth it. Oil Grenade, on the other hand, was a bonus addition to the build, offering 3 benefits: slowing enemies down, lowering fire resistance by 20%, and creating burning ground if ignited by a fire explosion. The burning ground wasn't too impressive, but the slow and fire exposure were much appreciated. In this playtest, this is where my build concluded, and to summarize my mercenary experience, it was fun, and it just kept getting better and better, especially so with the addition of each new interesting skill gem. While I didn't unlock cluster grenades in this playthrough, its screen clearing potential definitely tempts a mercenary playthrough on launch. Anyways, transitioning to the passive tree, it ended up like this.
What's up, Johnny?
And before I discuss the details, I must re-emphasize that this is an early access version of the game, so nothing is final, and there's no way to know whether this tree or build is optimal given the blind nature of the run. So with that disclaimer out of the way, let's discuss what I did. Starting out, I passed through the projectile damage nodes on the right, ending with this notable. Then at first, I allocated Ricochet.
Wait, what was that stun build up and the passive he's shown? Please keybind work, man. How come sometimes it works on... Oh, there we go. Hold. Voila. Now I see the timer, it does change, but... Increase stun build up against enemies within 2 meters. Well, it's useless for me to work.
Ending with this notable. Then at first, I allocated Ricochet for more efficient % increased projectile damage, but decided to respec out of it via the hooded one and opted for increased area of effect and cooldown recovery rate on the left path instead. Afterwards, I attempted to rush the grenade cluster, which in hindsight was a mistake, evidenced by the difficulty I had with the Wrathbreaker fight. To defeat Wrathbreaker, I had to A, get good, but B, become hard to kill, which I did by allocating hard to kill.
I think this boss will be hard, man.
I unallocated hard to kill and continued my rush to the grenade cluster, which seemed effective at increasing both my clear and single target damage. This metagame of allocating extra recovery for difficult boss fights and extra clear speed for progression worked out well, but I imagine in late game, when your spec and gold costs are much higher, frequent passive tree changes won't be possible. Around the end of Act 2, my damage felt lower than I would have liked, so in addition to crafting a new crossbow, I allocated Overwhelm for a ton of % increased damage with two-handed weapons. The additional 20% increased stun buildup in combination with 30% stun buildup from Remorseless and 80% more stun buildup from Overpower support generally made staggering bosses with Flash Grenade easy. Finally, to round out the build, I passed
this combo I will try to go for as well. I wanted to go for. Little Baby Go, thanks for the follow, welcome to the stream.
Instant reload, acquiring 70% increased reload speed, which overall made the build feel much smoother. Now the interesting question is, where do you go next? There are only a handful of grenade passes available, but lots of projectile passes, affecting ailments, % chance not to consume ammo, pierce, chain, reload speed, and more, which intuitively makes me wonder if the next step is to always carry 2 crossbows and make more use of weapon set passive points. Speculating to late game, weapon swapping might be the most optimal.
Did PoE 1 have some of these notes for only allies as well, that don't affect you? Because I've seen some of these notes in here in PoE 2. It's pretty interesting.
Strategy, especially when factoring resists, monster types, and monster AI. Now, a couple more conclusions before we head to the Q&A. Path of Exile is in part a game about creativity and experimentation, which I believe they've enabled by dropping tons of uncut skill gems and lots of common currency items. In short, it felt good to just try things, and I hope future design decisions lean more into this freedom, and wherever possible, avoid unnecessary friction. Which leads me once more to mana. During my playthrough, at the end of some boss fights, I would run out of mana and mana fast charges, leaving me to auto-attack until I could cast my next ability. In conversation with Octavian, he said my mana problems were somewhat expected, since I was spamming high-cost grenade skills. He also recommended acquiring flasks with a gain charges per second mod. I ended up crafting a life flask, but was unable to craft a mana flask in the time I had, leading to a tedious experience at the tail end of some boss fights. Now there are some considerations. Perhaps level 35 character is not
these
high
bosses
enough
are
for level
sick,
36
man.
zone. Or perhaps I didn't itemize enough during progression. Or perhaps my build was just weak. But extending that last thought further, if you have a good build with good damage, you don't...
Look at Speed Farmer Havok. I think so, yeah. I think so. Absolute a legend. Because there is a reason he got access to early access too, right? What's up, Dinosaur? Dinosaur Dave. Top 3 of all time. Crazy.
Don't need the recharge modifier. But if your build is weak and your damage is low, going feels excessively punishing. So hear me out. What if the recharge modifier was implicit to all flasks? I believe that would alleviate some of the tedium experienced by low damage builds on extended boss fights. That said, the point in itemization is key. Path of Exile is a game about items, and undergearing is a skill issue. Furthermore, there might be other forms of recovery available later on, such as Leech, which may solve the issue entirely. Alright, now for some rapid fire questions and answers.
He's the first ever to level to 100. Damn, dude. Which pack I went with? Well, my boy Bezos Helsizio, he gifted me the most expensive one. Shout out to him. So, yeah, man. I'm just waiting for the physical goodies like t-shirt, hoodie, and art book. Still no update on that. Sag. In softcore. See. Okay, okay. Thanks, man. What about you, Alex? Yeah, man, he's an absolute legend, bro. He's an absolute giga chat.
Was it fun? Yes. The farther I progressed, the more fun it became, especially as I understood my character better.
By the way, guys, do you know Ventura? Do you know this guy, Ventura? You PoE players? He's actually from the same country as me, man. He's Czech, bro. He's Czech. I just found out a couple weeks ago. It's pretty cool, man. Pretty cool. Gotta get them through those Eastern Bloc customs. It's a difficult one, huh? But to get the most expensive one, my boy Alex, let's go. Yo, by the way, if you guys have ordered the big packages, you'll get many free codes for early access. If you don't know what to do with them, I will gladly take him for giveaway for the stream for people. They know he was Czech, his accent is hard to spot. Yeah, true, true. Before he used the cam, I thought he was Indian. I don't blame you, man. Some of the people from Czech do have that accent, so I don't blame you, bro. Where would you say I am from if you didn't know I was Czech because of the accent?
Character better. Is a slow start worth it for a late game power spike? I think for many players it will be. Those cluster bombs looked crazy.
What's up, Omni? How do I get a code? I will be doing a giveaway on Thursday, my man. So all you gotta do is just be on the stream, follow the stream, and that's pretty much it, dude. That's pretty much it. There will be a special word to type in the chat to participate in the giveaway. So yeah, it's on Thursday. Eastern Bloc country, same thing, huh? Wouldn't be able to guess? Yeah, I feel you. Same thing, bro. Potato, right? Been following Pogs, Havok, and Etup since Crepe was still streaming from his living room. Dude, me too. I've been well, Etup, mainly Etup. Etup since those days. Those legendary days, Alex, right? Those are legendary days, dude. Bedroom, yeah. When he killed Diablo for the first time, world first in hardcore, right? On D3. Deep Frontier, thanks for the follow, bro. But my first ever item Val skillies for 4C, and I cannot even use it yet. So as I cannot get enough souls to use it. Oh, what's up, Panda? That's sad, dude. That's sad. Unlucky.
As for leveling tips, if you're looking to progress quickly, you try to kill while moving as much as possible. But if you're looking for a smoother playthrough, then my general advice is to full clear zones and spend a reasonable amount of time upgrading and thinking about your gear, and also reading the in-game wiki and skill tooltips. This approach
Yo, I just got the echo for the physical goodies from PoE from Grinding Gear Games, bro. It's here. It's here. You guys, you know what I gotta do though? Oh my god, that scared the hell. Mr. Bezos. Mr. Bezos with the dono, no shot. Brian, take it away.
Bezos is lame AF.
What do you mean, bro? Yo, Bezos, thank you very much for the dono, my man. Thank you very much for the dono, man. Absolute legend. Chat, can you get some hype in here? Not me, I'm Biz. True, you're Biz. But the original one, right. I was about to say, Bezos is Biz, but you're right. Let me get some hype in the chat. What's up, 5K? Number one, dude. Number one, numero uno right here. Oh, man. Yeah, so speaking of that, we got the echo from the physical goodies being sent. Huge. What up, places? We just gotta declare the items. But it's fine. That's fine.
Which will take
Thanks,
longer
once again, dude.
game, but should result in a stronger character and a greater understanding of how the game works. Does it zoom? I want to say yes, at least for the campaign. High damage explosions with lingering grenades definitely enable a clear while moving playstyle. That said, we don't really have a baseline for what zooming entails in the endgame. I noticed you would roll instead of walk when going through zones. Is it faster to roll than walk? Rolling and walking are the same speed. It's just a bad habit from another Exile-like game. Is it squishy? The Mercenary felt fairly tanky in comparison to previous playtests, most likely from access to armor gear and life regen on the tree. But again, you don't have a large baseline to judge from. How does reloading feel? To be frank, early on, reloading didn't feel so great, which is in part why I chose to play a grenade build.
These are great questions towards Mercenary Man from other people, and he answers them. That's awesome. Hey, what pogo dude?
Having said that, it did feel manageable once I allocated increased reloading speed on the passive tree. WASD versus click to move. I would say both input styles are playable, and ultimately it depends on the player and their preference. Personally, I prefer maintaining a consistent input style across all my builds, hence I see myself using WASD.
Yo, my boy Jeremiah becoming a member on YouTube, which is like a sub, my dude. Jeremiah, an absolute legend. Congrats on the badge and emotes, bro. Go hard with them everywhere you want. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Legend.
WASD in all classes. Nonetheless, here's what I noticed while experimenting. For click to move, the primary benefit was that my keyboard hand was quite relaxed, whereas my mouse hand was very active. Precision micro movements while maximizing DPS uptime also felt harder to pull off, though this might just be a skill issue. For WASD, the increased APM moved to my keyboard hand. It also felt easier to micro, and overall just felt more natural. That said, my T and F keys in particular felt somewhat unusable, and our prime canvas were being rebound to a mouse button. It also raised a small concern that there won't be enough usable keybinds as we acquire more skills. Inventory management aside, I could see a world where for some builds, using a controller or a joystick is the superior gameplay option. If you're thinking about playing a Mercenary, then up next I have a couple of highlights showcasing the playstyle. Furthermore, I would...
Ingo Farnum is the high spec? No, hold on, I'll show you. Can I show it? Hold on. There is you can only buy the high specs on the website and not on the Steam. Steam only allows up to $100, I think, so they couldn't put it there. Buy packs, is it here? Yeah. The highest one is, which looks amazing. I hope it doesn't break my PC or stream, whatever. Nah, we're good. So this is the first one for 60. That's the boss, man. That's the Crowbell. In the mini version. This is the highest you can buy on Steam, but there's also Thaumaturge, a dual supporter, with amazing daggers that are not in the game yet. Then there is Warlord of Karuya, which is amazing, dude. I like the axe here. Right? Alright, Jason, thanks for the follow, dude. Welcome. And this is the highest one. Liberator of Rayclast, 480. God damn, with the special Kiwi, dude. But Valkyrie wings Kiwi, right? That's awesome. And you'll get a free shirt, a free t-shirt, PoE hoodie, and art book. But yeah. And if you go with this pack, you get everything else above. All the other packs are basically combined into one. And as you can see, you will get free extra keys. Because you will already get... Oh, it shows it right here. Oh my days, bro. Extile with the follow as well, thank you, man. Cannot even buy it in a PS. Yeah, Jeremiah, the PS PlayStations in general can only buy it on December 6th in 3 days. Same day as it starts. I don't know why it's like that, but yeah, it's just PS, man. It's just Sony. Archie! My boy Archie, bruh. I saw you on some stream today. What's up, dude? Time to DM those keys to Ulf. Hey, if you guys have extra keys, you have no clue what to do with them, I'm your guy. I'll just give them out on Twitch, on the stream, I mean. Should be awesome. Hydrate, you got it, dude. Alright, here we go.
I would also recommend checking out other gameplay reveals to see what excites you. That said, you can't just jump in blind. The developers have put a ton of effort into balance and improved accessibility. Anyways, our video soon. Thanks for watching, and as always, have a great day, Exiles. Bye.
Hey, book on top. Guys, DM me the... Oh my god, this is so long. DM me the keys so I can order them. Yeah. What's up, Spazzy? What do you like, bro? Act 1, 2, and 3 highlights. New pieces in transit? Oh, legend!
Here it comes!
Same. 5k, same. New PC, big hype, dude. Big hype. I'm streaming on YouTube. I have 2 streams on YouTube, Spazzy. One vertical for YouTube Shorts and then desktop version. Is there any witch footage out there? Witch footage? Not really, man. Not much witch out there. Nope. Just some few small clips here and there, but Mercenary and Warrior are shown the most. And maybe Monk, you could say. Endgame build. Hey, what's up, Shadow? Hydrate, you got it, boys. Hold up. Trying to do some here. Oops. Does the Merc voice sound like he belongs in some anime? Maybe they took notes, man. They took notes. Bosses look like a challenge for sure. 100%, dude. 100%. What a fuse! It is not out already. It's in 3 days and 20 hours, my man. 3 days, 20 hours. Basically, around the corner. Yeah. I'm getting hungry, man. Holy. This game is crazy how it looks, and just watching it makes it look better than Diablo. Yes, my man. Yes. Not wrong. Not wrong, dude. You should under level and gear if you're playing hardcore. Yes. You will not be disappointed with it, huh? No, but I'm not hungry for banana pizza, Spazzy. Come on, dude. Shreds had to remind me today, man, with the pizza. He had to remind me today, dude. I was like, holy. Dude, the meal prep. I need to get after it, dude. Yeah, stay healthy, hydrated while slaying. I will need it because yeah, dude, it's 30 hour being up for 30 hours. Oh boy, scared. Already hate it. Gotta be honest, I haven't been this hyped for a release in a minute. You know what? Me neither, bro. Sejin could tell you because I've been spamming his DMs for so long about builds and questions. Yeah. That's sick though, man. That's sick. Either way, yeah. On top.
That's why he's the GOAT! The GOAT!
What's up, Ragnar? What's up, Red Singur? How's it going, guys? Hello, hello. We're watching some footage from Haybook, kind of like new footage from Act 1, 2, and 3 as well. While we're just discussing some stuff. Glad it looks mana. Yeah, I was about to say the mana seems pretty rough, especially like early on, I guess, with the grenades and all that. Stun resistant? Holy. Who's gonna be? This is Mr. Havok. Mr. Havok right here. 23 hours ago. If you want to play Mercenary, it's a great video. I'll link it in the chat. Because he, like, people were asking questions about this class on Twitter, and he was just answering them in his video. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. No worries, Vader. No worries, dude. Do I get risk reduced from killing Kitama the first time? Yes.
What was the point, eh?
If you in PoE 1 in the campaign, I believe you do. I haven't done it in a minute, but... Out Friday, if you supported $30 early access. Yes, sir, Frank. Yes, sir. Not gonna be in society for at least... Oh, man, Jeremiah. Firm handshakes, man. Me neither. I am getting the F out. Actually, you know what? I do have some... because it's Christmas, right? I will leave to parents' house I have to travel to from 22nd of December until 25th. So I'll be going for like 3 days. I'm sorry about that, chat. I'll be going for another 2 or 3 days on the 13th. God damn it, 2 days actually. So it is what it is, man. Not too bad, right? I can sacrifice 5 days in general. Never got into first PoE, but this game looks dope as hell. Get the beta key on store. Hell yeah, waiter. That's what I like to hear, my man. First and second time as well, Pazzy. Oh. Second time too. Okay, yeah. Yes, sir, Alex. Yes, sir. The season gotta see family. Exactly, my man. Exactly. Family first, right? Let me see here. Nice. This should be good. This should be good. On top, baby. That's why he's the GOAT! The GOAT! On tippy tita. Oh my days, I'm hungry. Bosses feel like Lost Ark bosses? True, man. How could I... Dude, I played a lot of Lost Ark. How could I not see it? Because you're right. Very strategic. Mobile too. Like, well, yeah. Not stand in place, not tank stuff, right? I mean, that might be the place. That might be the way anyway, with full gear but and whatnot, but I hope it won't. Hold close to Diablo-like exiles. Cheers! Well, L'Oreal, I'm not sure if Diablo-like exiles or Q invaders. I'm still torn between those two. Just saw them for a full week. Season is for PoE now. You did, Spazzy? Huge. You did, yeah. Lurk mode gonna dishes. Alright, Alex. Sounds good. I got lucky once on a giveaway, but I gave it to my handicapped brother, and now I'm trying to get lucky for a second time. Is such a pain? Sangor. You might be lucky, bro, on Thursday. You might be lucky, dude. This build feels like a weird COD DLC. True, man. Kind of true, dude. Christmas, forgot my kids will kill me if I forget. That would be no good, Jeremiah. For our kids, bro, that would be no good, man. The gig's up, the democracy was alive. Yeah, I don't know, man, because I mean, not a lot of people know what Diablo-like feel of me is like. Well, actually, no, Diablo-like, I mean, it's related to the meme and just the tweet from Drought Ferguson, but I mean, this fits for the PoE itself, right? Since the dev said that they wanted to do continuation to Diablo 2, right? Is that what class you're gonna play? Oh yeah, waiter. I'm gonna play Titan. You know it, my man. You know it. I already published my video on build ideas and my plans for early access, so you can take a look if you're interested in the melee slammer build. Because I want to try more ascendancies for Sunder slam ability. Because like Blood Mage, for example, like Sunder ability skills, or it has crit damage, and it is a guaranteed crit chance when you proc a full armor break. So, Blood Mage's ascendancy where it scales crit damage from life. And on Blood Mage it's been confirmed you can get overflow, which doubles your HP. So that's my another build test. I want to see which ascendancy is the best for a slammer. And then a third ascendancy, which is the subclass, I might go for Gemling, because Gemling has quality gems percentage, like plus extra skills. So yeah, that is the plan. It looks intense. It does. Yeah, Act 3 right here. I believe it is. Yeah. I want to see more footage from like in general, man. I want to see more. Silverback Black. This is Sajin right here. So Sajin is in Act 3. Huh. Huh. Thanks, Vader. Appreciate it, bro. Mr. Tarlo with the sub. I mean with the follow. Thank you, bro. Welcome, welcome. Got some good damage, man. Grenades on top, boys. Grenades on top. You think this new friend? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I recommend reading through the gems, items, and the skills. Sorry, the passives on the skill tree, because once you pay attention to what it does, you can really it does make sense, man. It will make sense. Look at some other passives in the skill tree. As a later go. I mean for later, so you can plan it out, and it will really make sense, man. That skill tree should not be scary. You should not feel intimidated by it. I mean, it's fun to say. Well, this is it for unlucky. Unlucky. This is review. Two weeks ago. Catch. Let's watch. Let's watch Ellie here. Cult of Mana. Mana stack and Stormweaver Archmage. Build concept showcase. So I can just you know what? I can just link this video to Praise Hives. I think, yeah, Mabroski. PoE 2 feels the Dark Souls like. It does, dude. It does. I know some people don't like the term for PoE 2, but it is what it is.
Tiny little step of the build I will be playing.
Why are you running? Why are you running?
I, in my opinion, think is going to be a great build for pretty much everyone else to play as well. This has been something that I've been
I was saying Warrior for Hymn of Gods. Yeah, because you've seen there's a guy called One Mana Left. He's a crazy good content creator for PoE. His builds are crazy, and he's doing that build, so that's why Rob was yeah, he saw his video. And that ability looks amazing, dude. That ability is insane. I'm gonna use Hammer of Gods as well in my build. But you cannot use it as a main build because Hammer of Gods is a cooldown. So you need something else to kill stuff, basically, with it. Aaron at home, thanks for the follow, bro.
going absolutely crazy over the past few weeks, and honestly, I think this picture by itself pretty much explains exactly how I've been feeling. I have been screenshotting every single little tiny detail about this build, and I've been putting all of it together to make sure that this is going to make sense.
Damn, she went hard, dude, with this. Exposure Inflict lowers the affected resistance by initial 20%. His build main, I know, right? Well, we'll see what kind of main ability she went with. Because I would like probably Whisper of Doom, Barrier, everything for ES. Yeah, I would go for Orb of Lightning. Ball Lightning, I mean. What they showed on the Twitter. Pure power. Yeah.
And be viable and just be as strong as I expect it to be. Today, we are talking about Mind Over Matter.
Just the Thoros with the follow. Thank you very much, bro.
Archmage, Stormweaver.
Archmage, exactly. This one right here.
That is a mouthful, but the build is literally simpler than all the words I said right there. This build is going to come down to 2 specific things. 1, mana. 2, mana. And 3, because there's going to be a 3, intelligence. As long as you keep those 2 things in mind, and 4, mana, then you have no issues putting this build together, and you are going to have an absolutely great time, in my opinion, playing this all the way through the end game. As always, I want to mention that this is going to be a build concept. This is not going to be a build guide, and I cannot guarantee you that this build will be good or bad or viable or non-viable or tanky or squishy or any of those parameters at all. None of us have had a chance to play pathofexile 2, so we really don't know what is going to be happening. I've done as much research as possible to try and put and guide you through the most coherent and complete version of everything I have to show you here. So why don't we start by going over the basics? Our whole build is going to be based around the Archmage Spirit Gem. This is going to be something which you're not going to realistically be able to get until about Act 3 or 4. I'm not exactly sure when, but this support gem is going to then allow you to start scaling your damage off of your mana. It's going to give you a portion of your skills damage as lightning damage per maximum mana that you have, while at the same time making your skills cost 8% of your total mana pool. This means the more mana that we have, the more damage we do, but the higher the total cost of the skill will also be. This means we need to find a way to get a lot of mana regeneration, which we'll talk about later in this video, and it really should not be that big of a problem. On top of Archmage, we also have 3 other things that are going to scale our damage even further. 1, intelligence itself as a stat is going to give us 2 mana per intelligence and additional 1% spell damage per every 5 intelligence that we get, while the pure intelligence and additional 1% spell damage per every 5 intelligence that we get, while the pure power passive point is going to do the same exact thing, scaling at 1% per 5 intelligence, except it being specifically for lightning damage. And then finally, Arcane Intensity giving us another 3% spell damage per 100 maximum mana that we have. The TLDR of the build is simply just going to be get as much mana as you can everywhere. Get as much intelligence as you can everywhere. Intelligence gives you damage. Intelligence gives you mana. And then mana gives you damage. And it's just going to scale itself very nicely that way. If you then take everything I just said and then add in...
Aren't there notes for shield as well related to mana?
In the great defensive layers of Mind Over Matter and Energy Shield Recharge through Refocus, our build...
It's gonna be sick build, dude. Honestly. Recharge, chance to start with a use guild, yeah. Do you know what you're running first? Yeah, Jeremiah. I made a build on YouTube already with my ideas and plans. It's a 2-hander. Well, hold on. I can just link it all. If you want to take a look. It's gonna be a Titan, a dual wielding 2-handers, Slammer, and yeah, dude.
Build should feel unbelievably comfy. We are going
Stacking
to
life
have
and
an
armor.
energy shield that should be very easy for us to recover as a buffer. And then we are going to have Mind Over Matter take all the damage that would then be taken from our life once our energy shield is gone, and instead be redirected into our mana pool until we hit 0 mana. Because we're going to have an incredible amount of mana regeneration in our build, we should never really hit 0 mana. And because we can get a much bigger mana pool than we can ever get a health pool, our total actual health pool is going to be substantially larger than what you'd possibly be able to get as a normal life stacker. When you add on to the fact that we're also going to have several thousand energy shield at the same time, we are looking to have a very comfortable build that has an amazing recovery layer behind it, make it feel very comfortable for pretty much all content that you want to do. For the ascendancy that we're going to be choosing for this, we are going to be playing this on a Stormweaver. I've thought about the decision between Stormweaver and Acolyte Shayula quite a lot, and in my opinion, I like Stormweaver a lot more because it's going to be a more pure caster variant of the build, where an Acolyte Shayula setup would be more of a hybrid build where you'd have to do a bunch of attacks, and that's not really what I want to do in this build.
Wait, this thing removes all
between Stormweaver and Acolyte Shayula quite a lot. And in my opinion, I like Stormweaver a lot more because it's going to be a more pure caster variant of the build, where an Acolyte...
You're from Canada? I wish, but I'm not. This one removes all spirits. I kind of missed this one. Oh, because, right, this is the sidebar here, darkness, okay. Reserve darkness, possible.
Shayula setup would be more of a hybrid build where you'd have to do a bunch of attacks, and that's not really what I want to do in this build. I think both versions of the build are going to be fairly good, but in the end, my interest in a pure caster is what won me over to a Stormweaver. As for Stormweaver, we literally know almost nothing about the passive tree. The only point that we care out of everything I've shown us so far is going to be Strike Twice. This is going to allow you to stack...
My man Max, what's up from YouTube? Hope your Thanksgiving was nice. Well, we don't celebrate Thanksgiving, so for me, brother, it was just another day in the office. But I hope you guys had amazing Thanksgiving as well. Good to see you, Max. Good to see you. Looks fire. Yes, sir, dude. Hey, thanks for the follow, bro. Appreciate it, dude. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. For those of you new here, I'm doing a giveaway on Thursday for one code, early access, one key. And I'll have two more to give, at least two more to give away, which will be given out in the weekend. So basically on launch and day after, pretty much. So if you want to test your luck and chances, stick around. Yes, sir. How it's gonna go with just on the same day when it's gonna be given out? You just gotta follow the stream, be in the chat. There will be a special award to type in the chat to participate, and that's it. And pray to RNG gods.
Your shock debuff twice on an enemy, giving you an insane damage potential, as we should very easily be able to apply 2 40% shocks onto an enemy. Shock is an ailment that can be caused by lightning damage, and all of the skills that we are most likely going to be running for this build have a chance of shock built into them. The strength of the shock is simply going to be based off of the lightning...
Dude, what's this damage right now on the boss? Do you see that? See at the right top number, right? That was a big chunk right here.
By lightning damage, and all of the skills that we are most likely going to be running for this build have a chance of shock built into them. The strength of the shock is simply going to be based off of the lightning damage that you do with the hit, and given we have so many scalars and our lightning damage is going to be so high, it should be very easy for us to be able to hit 30 to 40% shocks, and since we can apply 2 of them, that means we effectively get 30 to 40% more damage onto whatever enemy that we're fighting. And while we don't know any of the other nodes on the Stormweaver, there was a potential leak on what some of the Stormweaver nodes might do. And while I can't
50%, yeah, man. Wait, so we know the stun bar on the boss. We know the freeze. So how is shock? How do you know shock? Because it's at 30% all the time, and the middle debuff is probably the debuff from shock, where it takes more damage. 50%.
So high, it should be very easy.
Maybe.
Given we have so many scalars and our lightning damage is going to be so high, it should be very easy for us to be able to hit 30 to 40% shocks. And since we can apply 2 of them, that means we effectively get 30 to 40% more damage onto whatever enemy that we're fighting. And while we don't know any of the other nodes on the Stormweaver, there was a potential leak on what some of the Stormweaver nodes might do. And while I can't validate if these are going to be real or not, if these end up being true, then we are immediately also picking up Constant Gale and Force of Will, as those are going to make Stormweaver unbelievably strong with our playstyle. Arcane Surge is a buff that gives you increased mana regeneration and more cast speed. And then with the ability for us to scale the Arcane Surge effect per 15 maximum mana in an endgame setup, assuming we get to about 6,000 mana, we expect this to give us somewhere around 40% mana regeneration and 60% more cast speed, which is a crazy scalar for whatever we plan to do with this build.
Damn, dude.
We'll see exactly what the Stormweaver Ascendancy gives us, but we know for certain it is going to be strong, as it's going to be lightning focused, and I'm going to be making a follow-up video after the launch of PoE 2.
Was it a flicker strike he just used?
Further once we do see exactly what it does. Let's move on to the single biggest question that people have been asking me as I've been putting this build concept together, and that is going to be how to actually deal with our mana recovery. Our first initial plan was to deal with it by taking Eldritch Battery, but we now know that Eldritch Battery is going to be disabled in early access until GGG reworks it, as the current version of it was going to completely break the game and just not be okay. With that the question, then our only other option is to focus heavily on mana regeneration. Because Dreamcore is my single favorite new content creator, and because he released a video going over all the base stats stats in the character sheet, we now know that the base mana regeneration rate of a character in Path of Exile is 4% of your maximum mana per second. In PoE 1, this used to be 2%, meaning we now get double the mana regeneration that we previously had. We also know that there are going to be quite a lot of sources of mana regeneration, both on gear and the passive tree, allowing us to fairly easily be able to...
Which gameplay looks hella nice. I just wish we could see some more, right? Because so far the most gameplay we've seen is warrior, monk, and mercenary. I want to see others too, man. Like blood mage, infernalist, yeah, witch as well. Because we have seen more of the beginning. Bro, you can get 35% more energy shield, max energy shields on amulet, level 59. 55% mana regen as well. That's pretty correct, yo.
Scale upwards to 20% of our mana regeneration per second if we heavily focus on it. We first have the option of running a Clarity, which is going to be linked to one of our support gems to give us increased mana regeneration. We can then also include in an Arcane Surge, and if the leaks I talked about in the Ascendancy section are true, and we get all that effective Arcane Surge, we'd easily be able to get another 30 to 40% just from that. We also have some of the passive points that we know about on the tree. The first 2 points at the left side of the Sorceress Star of the tree give us 10% mana regeneration, as well as us having Open Mind for another 25%, and then Node leading to it for another 10%. Between mana regeneration that we'll know will be available on rings, amulets, and belts, we can safely assume that somewhere around 250 to 300% of mana regeneration is...
Was it Flicker Strike he just used on this footage?
250 to 300% of mana
kind of looks like just teleported to the mobs, right? It's Flicker. This is a Flicker, but I don't see no power charges on the skill, so maybe not.
300% of mana
I don't know.
regeneration is a fair and reasonable...
Gonna blast that witch hard. They're gonna go for it, my man. You're gonna go with Infernalist, Hells.
Blossom, which gives us 16% increased mana recovery rate.
Man, mana builds look insane so far.
Whatever your current mana regeneration.
Like mage mana, and then Stormweaver, and then also the Acolyte Chayola on the monk that is mana leech also. Those builds look insane so far from all these. Am I what? Are you gonna play Infernalist, which is like the demon mage from Witch? With the big boobas, yes? Ooh! Nice, nice. I feel like not many people are gonna play Sorcerer from what I've heard so far. Demon all the way? Hell yeah.
Generation rate is. I can assume...
I mean, all builds look insane, man. All classes, I mean.
That the nodes leading up to it are also probably going to be something to deal with mana regeneration rate. Meaning, if we combine all of these points together and all of these skills, we can probably assume we can hit somewhere around 20% total mana regeneration rate per second, which when halved due to Mind Over Matter, means we'll have somewhere around 10% mana regeneration rate per second. This is going to be more than enough.
Monica is gonna play Monk. Oh, she's gonna play Monk. Let's go. She bought the key. Nice, man. Obviously, a Levit Hydrate. You got it. You got it. Ahoy, ahoy. I'm torn between Storm Sower, Midi Necromancer, Chaos Monk. And decide we'll probably do a wheel on launch day. Honestly, Chaos Monk does sound pretty cool too. I totally forgot they have this node. And the Ascendancy where it gives you chaos damage, right? So... doesn't sound too bad, dude. And before, again, bow, poison build, and monk instead of ranger, Deadeye, whatever. Nah.
Enough to
Just
cover
beaming
all
here.
of your spellcast, as well as allow you to have a surplus of mana regeneration rate to deal with any sort of damage that might be happening to your mana pool due to Mind Over Matter. Finally, the last unknown on top of all this is what techniques are GGG going to design, and are any of them going to be useful for mana stackers? In PoE 1, we have items such as a series foible, which is an absolute must-have to have in any...
Have you decided what to play, bro?
This is going to be something...
Did you watch the interview? I caught the second half of that. Yeah. I got to PC pretty late today, so I didn't see the whole thing, dude. Pinkos with a follow. Welcome to the stream, bro. Thank you, thank you. Did I miss something in the first half? Sejin said nothing too crazy. But I'm just impressed Jonathan still does interview 3 or 4 days prior to launch. You haven't yet? Ah, okay. You need to see the rest of the Ascendancy points? Yeah, I feel you. I know I was watching when he was talking about the data mine and just pre-download. He's not a fan of data mine, and I agree with it. I don't want any data mine either, but if they could leak, or no, not leak, but publish like the Ascendancy notes at least. So because a lot of people are undecided, right? So that could probably help them out a lot, such as yourself. You forgot him already? Okay.
I'm going to be talking about post-launch as
Oh,
we
gooch.
discover all the uniques, and I'll be mentioning every single powerful unique that we come across as something that you could potentially add to make your build even stronger. What I'm
Revives minions, region life. Oh
trying to
boy.
get to you in this section is that as long as you're stacking mana regeneration rate both on the passive tree and on your gear, it seems like you'll have absolutely no issue being able to deal with your mana
I'm
problems.
cold.
So now that we've got
My take is that people are gonna data mine when it launches anyway, so I would much rather have leaks a couple of hours before and actually have preload. Yeah, I feel you. I feel you. I mean, they will data mine, yeah. They will data mine. Either way when it launches, so it's gonna be oof.
gone that out of the way, why don't we quickly talk about the kind of gear that you're going to expect to find for this build. Ideally, as I mentioned, you're going to want to try to get mana regeneration rate everywhere you possibly can. The other two important stats everywhere is going to be trying to get yourself as much intelligence.
Think it'll be preload? Yeah, it's been confirmed. A couple days prior. Apparently Wednesday, but which is tomorrow. No, what's today? Today's Monday. Technically Tuesday, brother. Tuesday, innit? So Wednesday apparently, but I don't know, man. Plus, there's multiple guides ready to be posted by Fextra Life. Oh my. Well, there is also closed beta going on right now. Will there until Friday? So, I don't know, man. I understand that games do that. You know, Diablo 4 did the same. I was playing that closed beta before release. I got myself guides ready as well, but I just hate that, dude. I don't like it. I don't like it. Luckily, in PoE, the sky's the limit for builds. We're chilling, right?
And mana as possible. Each point of intelligence is worth.
You guys remember back then when we were just chill guys and just blasting, just enjoying the game? No min-maxing, no data mines, not like that, no stuff like that. Just enjoying the game, bro. Enjoying the games was multiple. That was the best, bro. Did I Pathfinder leaks? You mean from Fextra? I didn't get the chance to watch the video. I was not at PC when he had it on YouTube. All I know, actually, I heard from a guy that he showed gem setup, gem codex, and there was my favorite gem, bro, called Berserk. Holy, bro! Because on all the gameplay or like videos we have seen, Berserk was not there, but on Fextra's Lives footage, it was. So, fuck yeah, bro! You got the pictures? Oh, DM? Can you slide my DMs? I want to see some of the good stuff. I want to see some of the good stuff. Yeah, sure, man. Throw him in there, bro. Throw him in there. I'll probably have to not show it on stream because, yeah. Cannot, man. I mean, it's probably on Reddit anyway, right? Someone leaked it 100%. It's on the hundreds and leaked it anyway, so. So, obviously, I don't want to see them, man, right? I don't want to see them, man. It's NDA, so.
2 mana, meaning if you
I asked in the chat
with about half the
what's up, man,
intelligence that
Ganta?
it does in mana, it should basically be exactly the same. Obviously, in the early game,
How does
you're
that
not
send it to me?
gonna
Thanks, man.
be able to stack a lot of mana. So while you are working your way through the axe and until you get yourself to Archmage, you should focus on getting yourself nothing but gear with life and resistances on it. Once you do get Archmage, you should start looking for gear with as much mana as possible. And as you are swapping over to it and start building up your mana pool, you should then eventually transition over to Energy Shield gear and completely stop trying to find life rolls on your gear. Your ideal gear is going to look something like this. While this is a PoE1 example, it should still get the point across. You're going to want to try to find yourself Energy Shield rolls on an Energy Shield base, and then you're going to try to get yourself mana and intelligence if possible, and then if you can fit in any sort of resistances, that'd be great. Obviously, you should sacrifice intelligence for some resistances if you have to, as getting resistance cap is going to be the most important thing, but it should be fairly simple and fairly straight to the point in how you put together your gear. Obviously, you're going to give yourself other rolls such as movement speed on your boots, and then for your weapon, we don't really know enough about all the mods for me to realistically tell you exactly what you look for. Ideally, a weapon with some cast speed or some spell damage or some lane damage on it would be great. If you could ever find yourself a weapon with additional levels to lightning gems, that would also be a pretty big DPS increase. Mana is also a mod that can roll on staves, so you can find yourself a staff with a very large and chunky mana roll. That would also be a potential very large DPS increase. Keep in mind as well, as you progress, you're going to find yourself runes, which are going to be things that you can add to some of your gear.
Also, Lord Ruben, PoE2 is not really open world. You will be able to see players in towns, but not outside in open world, basically. But you can play up to 6 people in a group, so with them, obviously, you can go anywhere.
And you can potentially fill in any sort of gaps in your resistances with this to be able to just keep stacking as much.
Well, actually, PoE 2 is open world. PoE 2 is open world. You're not really playing in instances, right? You have dungeons, you have open world, you have towns. If you mean like the game itself and not like from the multiplayer standpoint. That's better compared to D4. I think so too, dude. Because there's not gonna be any lags in open world for you, right? So I like it too. I like it too. Someone was actually against it last time, yesterday on stream, but I ain't got a single issue with it. Yep.
Much mana intelligence as you possibly can. It should be fairly simple and straight to the point, and while you're getting through acts 1 through 3, you realistically shouldn't have to worry about any specific stats to be able to get through the campaign. I also want to very briefly go over some of the points on the passive tree that you're going to be interested in picking up, just to give you a little bit of a heads up on what you might want to expect in this build.
She's an absolute gamer, bro. Markov logs up top in the bookmarks. She knows, man. She knows. Quicksim as well. Oh ho. Hey, yo. We found ourselves a min-maxer, man. Look at that. Are you looking forward to? Yeah, I did ask her about the phase 2 yesterday. Yeah.
This passage tree is not finalized, so we do not know everything on it. So take everything I'm going to tell you here with a grain of salt, but I should give you at least a rough idea of how to put this build together. First, you're going to start at the beginning and path through the right side of the left section, as it's going to give you mana regeneration rate, which should feel really nice at the start. You can always pick up the spell damage, but I honestly feel like the mana regen might be a little bit better for early on. Pathing into Raw Destruction and then pathing into Open Mind for even more mana regen. This node right here is probably going to be some sort of spellcasting node, so probably be worth picking up. And then you're just going to path over to right, path over to the mana, and then make your way up until the top of the giant diamond at the start of the witch tree to get yourself over to this set of nodes on the left. Here, getting Breath of Lightning would feel really good, as this will make you do a lot more damage to bosses. And then you're just going to go up, ignoring the mana related nodes over here. And then you're simply going to go and try to get yourself Crushing Storms, and probably the
N27 passive, massive. How about N39,
well.
bro?
From here, you're going to go get yourself Refocus, and then at this point, you could start considering getting yourself a little bit more energy shield. But we'll talk about the defensive layers in a section after this passive tree section. Your main goal here is just to get to the top of the tree and pick up pure power. This is going to allow you to start scaling intelligence before you get Archmage as a way to increase your damage, and at the same time, electric amplification is
nice passives here.
Pretty nice DPS increase too. This node here might be +1 to lightning.
18% penetration.
Okay,
okay.
you should 100% pick this up, as that'll be a pretty big DPS increase. At around this point is probably when you're going to be able to swap over to Archmage. But if you haven't swapped over to Archmage and you want more damage, this lightning cluster on the right is probably going to be pretty good. Or if you want a little bit bigger of a health pool or want to feel a little bit tankier, you can potentially go back to Diamond at the start and pick up Essence Infusion as the energy shield reach.
Yeah, Ruben, you can play with friends. Up to 6 people in a group, my man. Up to 6 people with friends. Run around everywhere you want. Anywhere you want to.
Charge rate here is absolutely crazy. You can also potentially pick up the energy shield node at the start, or to come over back to the top of the tree where you picked up pure power, and then pick up patient barrier, which is going to give you a very large extra amount of energy shield. Once you do swap over, you're definitely going to want to pick up this intelligence node, and you're going to want to get yourself arcane intensity as soon as you can. The left side is going to make it so your skill cost.
Yeah, how does it work with loot? It's not personal loot, right? It's shared. No worries, Ruben. I got you, man. Am I young all of Ulf's loot? Don't tell him. Now I'm gonna go solo for launch, bro. Was it my mirror? No, stop with the mirror, dude. There is no way. There is no way. No chance you get another mirror, Spazzy. Okay. But yeah, for release, I'll go solo because I want to make guides once again for the bosses. And if I was playing in a group, I can already read the comments. You got carried. Losing their sleep over that, man, you know? So yeah, nah. Driller, Killa, and Nexus with the follow. Thank you, boys. Welcome to the stream.
Cost more mana. Well, I think the right side is going to make it so it costs less mana, and if you're having your sort of mana issues, you should 100% pick that up. From there, you should immediately go and get yourself Arcane Blossom for the massive amount of extra mana regeneration this gives you, and Mana Bloom for the
listen, guys, listen.
Of extra mana. And then from here,
timeout. Me getting carried? Nah.
If you feel comfortable and ready to pick up Mind Over Matter, this is when you should go get it. If not, you can get yourself something like Calibration for more mana and energy shield, or Dependable Ward for better recovery. And then you could even potentially choose to go get this wheel, which is most likely going to be a cast speed wheel, and then any of the other mana wheels right next to Mind Over Matter, and possibly even making your way through this cast wheel and over here to what is most likely going to be another mana wheel. Finally, you're going to potentially want to get this node over here, as it's going to most likely give you Arcane Surge effect, as that's what it does in PoE 1. And if that is the case, this is going to be a very strong node. And then at some point during all of this, you're going to come over and get yourself Chaos Inoculation, which we're going to discuss a little bit more in the next section, talking about exactly what your defensive layers are going to look like while you are progressing through the campaign. But
she's too much of a gamer, bro. This ain't a chick, man. This is voice changer, a dude trying to attract more people because they hear female voice. Yeah. All the degens, man. I don't buy that. Nope.
I want to go over in a little bit more detail is going to be exactly what your defensive layers in this build are going to be. Early on, as you're progressing through the campaign, you're simply just going to be a build that has a bunch of life, and you're going to mostly rely on your life class to stay alive. As you get towards the top of the
Uncle
tree,
Speedster, thanks for the follow, bro. I like your name,
that's
dude.
when we can start considering picking
Appreciate
up a bunch of
ya.
energy shield gear and potentially picking up some of the energy shield recharge nodes to then have that as a defensive buffer before your life. Until we get a lot of mana around Act 3, Act 4, when we swap over to Archmage and get Mind Over Matter, we're mostly going to be focused on this energy shield and this life to stay alive. Keep focusing on getting as many life rolls as you can on your gear, and if you can start finding some energy shield bases with life on them, those should probably do pretty well with refocus. When you swap over to Archmage and start getting a bunch of mana gear, once you do feel like you have a pretty big mana pool, somewhere around the time where both your mana regeneration feels completely fine and where your mana pool is as big, if not bigger, than your health pool, that's when you can finally consider to actually pick up Mind Over Matter and then start getting as much energy shield gear as you possibly can and eventually swap over to Chaos Inoculation. Chaos Inoculation is going to make it so you no longer have to deal chaos damage, which is double the normal damage to your energy shield, and is going to make you completely immune to both bleeds and poisons, giving you another really nice defensive layer on top of it. We don't care that our life is going to be 1, as our life kind of stops becoming meaningless once we are swapped over to Mind Over Matter. There should be a fairly good time to pick it up and swap over to it completely. From there, you completely disregard any sort of additional life on any of your gear and fully focus on making your mana pool as big as possible.
Sup, yeah? Good to see you, man. I'm doing quite alright, thank you for asking. Just getting ready for Path of Exile 2 launch, my dude, in 3 days. 3 days and some hours. How about you, dude?
And stacking as much energy shield as you can to make your total health pool as big as you can. If your energy shield feels a little bit finicky and it doesn't feel very strong, you can go and try and pick up even more energy shield on tree and potentially pick up some more energy shield recharge to make it so when refocus triggers, it fully regenerates your energy shield even faster. But I don't think it'd be too much of an issue, especially if you have enough mana regeneration to allow some of the damage to just hit your mana pool and just effectively completely ignore it. Next, let's talk about the skills they're going to want to run this setup. Now, there are going to be 3 skills that you're going to want to include, and the setup they're going to use is going to be dependent on what you personally want. To begin with, as soon as you get Archmage, you're going to have to choose between playing Arch.
Anyone got the LDR, how the trials work? There are 2 trials, right? The one with Honor or the Sacred Water, which is this one. And then there is the one where you just choose the modifier for the first like levels and then avoid traps, stuff like that. This in theory is up on YouTube. Alright, thank you, man. Do you have any info on how long will be early access go for? At least 6 months minimum. All the way up to like 1 year, no longer than that. They do not want to release the game in 2026, so they're aiming for like 3rd quarter next year, I think. What it looks like.
Or ball laning as your main skill. Arc looks to have potentially better single target damage than ball laning will, while ball laning is going to have better.
So it's either or. Chains onto other. Oh, hello. Chance to shock ball lightning, huh? No worries, dude.
Clear than what Arc can offer. Later on, as you progress the story, you'll be able to get enough spirit for you to be able to equip a 2nd spirit gem. In this case, we're going to then want to include a cast on shock. Once you have the ability to use this cast on shock, you're then going to want to use both skills at the same time, with one of them being automatically triggered through the cast on shock. There are going to be a few options on how you want to set up, and for me personally, I'm going to be running ball laning as my main clear skill, with Arc and my cast on shock for a
nice
DPS.
Detailed like
With
that.
That said, there are going to be quite a few supports that you're going to want to include. Ideally, early on, you're going to want to run an Arcane Surge and an End Veneration, as these are going to give you a lot of additional mana
For 4 seconds.
and a recovery. And you're going to want to keep your Arcane Surge if the leaks for Stormreaver are incorrect and we don't get a free Arcane Surge. For your Arc setup, you're going to always want to make sure you're running a chain. Chain gives you a decent amount of additional clear and is a single target multiplier, as Arc scales unbelievably well off of any additional chain.
This is like Chain Lightning and Ball Lightning Sword in D4. Ayy.
50% less damage of chain.
Just kidding.
Still makes chain a DPS increase when linked specifically to Arc. For me personally, I'm also going to be including Control Destruction, Elemental Focus, and Laning Exposure.
40% more spell damage with hits. Gonna deal crit hits. Yeah. Lightning Exposure. What is Lightning Exposure? Is it like reducing lightning resistances?
Exposure on my Arc, as I want to do as much upfront damage as possible, and I'm not going to really need the lightning exposure for anything but boss fights. For my ball lightning, which is going to be my main skill, I'm going to try and include a wild shards in if I can, as it's going to make my clear feel a lot better. An overcharge, which is going to give me substantially bigger shocks, but they're going to have lower duration, which is going to be fine given all the monsters are going to die in a second or two anyways. Unleash, because it effectively is a cast speed increase. And then if mana does feel like a problem, an inspiration should drastically reduce any sort of mana problems that we have. There's also going to be a few other potentially interesting supports to include, such as a mana flare and elemental discharge, which we simply just have to wait for the game to come out and see if they end up being good. And if you somehow don't have any mana problems at all, running a faster casting on whatever skill you're using as your main skill is going to be a great way to make your clear or your single target damage be even higher. Finally, to talk a little bit more about the spirit gems, we are going to always be running Archmage and then a cast on shock as soon as we can fit it in. And ideally, if we can get a little bit more spirit in our build, either through stats on gear or an amulet base or spirit through the passage tree, we ideally are going to want to include a Grim Feast, which is going to give us a decent amount of additional energy shield. And ideally, you're going to want to include a Grim Feast.
Grim Remnants, what is that? Feeds on corpses to bolster energy shield. Active enemies and minions that die will drop. Ah. I see. Grim Remnants energy shield can overflow your energy shield to up to double its normal maximum. Oh, that's actually sick. Okay.
It's going to give us a decent amount of additional energy shield, and we're going to want to link a clarity onto it, which is going to make it cost 3 more additional spirit, but give us a very large chunk of additional mana regeneration. Finally, if you can get yourself another 30 spirit on top of that, for a total of 260, get yourself a blasphemy with a conductivity to then just always have a aura around you that makes enemies have less lightning resistance. If you cannot get this blasphemy in, then you're just going to manually self-cast the conductivity whenever you get to a boss, or any sort of rare that seems to be kind of tanky. Finally, there are going to be 2 skills that we're going to be including with our
Nice trip on this build, man.
Mana
Looks
Storm
sick.
and Sigil of Power. Mana Storm is going to put down a circle that when you stand inside of it,
Around you, Arcane Storm. Ooh. All right.
your mana is going to start draining very quickly, but you're going to get a massive DPS increase through the extra damage as lightning. And specifically for Arc, you're going to gain 2 additional chains, which is a massive DPS multiplier. Mana Storm might be a little bit iffy to use, and you might want to use your Mana Flask whenever you're using a Mana Storm, as it can potentially drain you all the way down to 0 mana. And if you end up going to 0 energy shield, you basically die. So do be warned that it might be a little bit clunky, and if it does feel clunky, just completely drop it and that'll be completely okay. But Sigil Power is going to be an absolute must-have, as it's going to gain a stage every time we spend 50% of our mana inside of it, which is then going to give you more spell damage, which should be very easy for us to scale to its maximum very quickly, giving us a very large chunk of additional damage on any sort of rare or any sort of boss that takes a little bit of extra time to kill. And with all that, I hope that I was able to recruit you over to the Cult of Mana. I am unbelievably excited to play this build on launch, and I absolutely love builds that just have simple ways of scaling them, such as just scaling mana in this case. I've been a fan of builds that can just scale one stat for both their damage and their defenses, and the fact that this build looks to have a lot of synergy going to early access makes me very excited to try it as my first build. If you're also interested in playing this build, I'm going to be streaming it over on Twitch, and I'm going to be very excited to do a lot of theory crafting with with our community and figure out whatever we can do to make this build as good as possible. Obviously, we will be updating everything on YouTube as well. So if you can't watch on Twitch, you'll be able to see all of our findings over here in video format. And I'm super excited to play with all of you kitties, and I think it'll be honestly an absolute blast. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment in the comments below, and I'd be more than happy to help you as soon as I can. Or you're free to come by Twitch and ask me of your questions there. With all that said, I hope you kitties enjoy this video, and I hope you enjoy the future
video
updates on this over the
Good stuff.
few days. And you're
Good stuff from Ali. Yeah. Let me sub to her. I need to stop reading Reddit. The way people are talking about launch, you would think 10 million people are logging in. Everyone is in full panic mode, aren't they? Full panic mode, dude. Yeah, well, I mean, there is no way. More than 1 million, dude, like 2 million players, for example? I don't think so, man. That's too cracked. Obviously, I could be wrong, but...
So this is not going to be a deep video. I'm not going to get deep into
It's Volhart.
mechanics, nor is this video
Core gameplay feel? Oh.
I played the Ranger class the most. I think I got to like level 7 or 10, which really isn't
Ranger.
that far, especially compared to some at the event.
They know how many will be logging in via code numbers, no? Oh, I'm not sure. Well, I guess.
And my
That makes
second
sense.
most played class was the Mercenary class, but I also actually played 7 or 10, which really isn't that far, especially compared to some at the event. And my second most played class was the Mercenary class, but I also actually played the 4 other classes as well. So I kind of divided my time into trying to at least experience a little bit of everything with a focus a bit more on the Ranger and the Mercenary. This is actually kind of interesting because Larian Studios launched early access for Baldur's Gate 3 with 6 playable classes, and then throughout early access they released more, and then version 1.0 had 12 playable classes. Well, Path of Exile 2 is doing something.
PlayStation couldn't buy it, and a lot of people buy it last minute, so at 10,000 people. Honestly, it's really crazy that apparently Sony will not allow you to carry over MTX from PoE 1 to PoE 2, not even stash tabs, apparently. I haven't seen the source, but that's what I heard, the word on the street, which is pretty disgusting, dude.
Similar here. It's launching early access with 6, and by the time version 1.0 comes out, there will be 12 playable classes. But within even just minutes of playing PoE 2, I was telling myself in my head, this feels really, really good. You know, the general gameplay feel, the movement.
They want the money.
Solid,
yes, sir.
And movement in this game, you can actually do point and click, like, you know, old school ARPGs or CRPGs. You can
do click. Chad, what's your controls? Who's gonna play with double ASD and just normal mouse, whatever? Just let everyone else preload and give PS players the ultimate login boss and downloading this game on shitty network. Mouse click the old way? Yo, the old way, huh? Okay. Yeah, I cannot see how double ASD will be different here to Diablo 4, because in Diablo 4 it was unplayable for me. I cannot imagine that. Could be different, but yeah. I'm just used to mouse as well. We'll see.
You can use controller, all of which I think work pretty well.
Yeah, I agree. I could imagine, dude.
And that wasn't actually a thing in PoE 1. And WASD felt really good to me, and I think actually from hearing some other players talk about.
You know why it feels great for people who already played it? Because they did not reach endgame levels and they don't have all the skills abilities on the bars, I feel like, no? Or cooldowns, you know? Mana, regen, whatever. WSD all the way for you? Really, Lozzy, okay? Depends on the class, really. I might try controller. Yeah, I think control will be super smooth, man. Yeah, I think it was super smooth, dude. You're gonna use WSD? Okay. How do you align that shit? Yeah, right? How do you play that shit? True, man. Mobile as well. Yeah, I think it's because we are also used to mouse click. I don't know, but I will. When Octavian played Warrior, he swapped from I don't know which class, but that other class he was using just mouse because he was easier. He looked on Warrior, and apparently it's easier to play double SD on melee. So, hey man, I'm gonna give it a try. Gonna give it a go. If anything, carpal tunnels, bros, log in.
About this, I think it might even be a better choice than point and click for some of the more
Hillock.
mobility focused
Our
classes.
boy Hillock.
The only weird thing with WASD, and I'm sure like regular ARPG players probably wouldn't feel like this is weird at all. The only weird thing is that you have to use your mouse to like aim where you want your character to be facing the direction that you want your character to face. So like I'll be moving around with WASD, but my character will be like looking this way and like sidestepping in the direction that I wanted to go. But
yeah, that's another thing.
It only took you like, I don't know, like 30 minutes to get used to that, and then I was perfectly fine. For the first few
a lot of MMOs in WSD isn't gonna be the big problem for you. Okay, that's fair.
Good things felt and also looked, and I think a lot of other people were also like that. I sat next to YouTuber Legendary Drops, and he was experiencing pretty much the same thing I was. We were just like, holy crap, like this is fucking good. The base core gameplay, you know, the running around, the attacking, the dodging. It's important to note that PoE 2, all classes start off with like this base roll dodge. It's part of the core fundamental move.
I played so much PoE in a day with mouse. That hand was basically a mold of a mouse. I feel like WSD is gonna make carpal tunnel way better. You think so? Maybe. I mean, I'm just trying to imagine, picture it. We shall see. Another question mark in the air. Legit had hand pain in only PoE. Wait, really? That's not good. That's interesting. Okay.
Movement mechanics of every class in this game is having that.
Well, I mean, if someone has 40,000 hours in PoE 1, such as yourself, dude, of course you would have hand pain, dude. Clicking everything, skills, items, okay, etc. Okay, yeah.
Dodge feels really, really good, and it adds like a big.
It could take away some of that pressure on the right hand, I guess. Yeah.
Movements, and I think that's important in a lot of RPGs. But all of this just feels really, really polished and also refined, which is kind of crazy because this is launching into early access. This is not version 1.0. So if it's launching into early access like this, like, holy crap, like these guys are on the right track for whatever this game is going to be by the time version 1.0 comes out. It is launching in a state, I think it is, at least from the build that I played, that is better than like most game launches out there. And it's incredible to see. Now, that doesn't mean that the servers are going to work right on launch night. So don't get this.
You guys expect bugs? A lot of bugs? Because some people were referring to this early access as last epoch early access. My carpal tunnel is in the other hand from the flasks and other games. Mouse hand is fine, yeah. With that I can imagine. But hey, we got 2 flasks now, we're good.
In such a good state, there's probably going to be server problems, maybe for even a
expect bugs early access no matter the game. Yeah, I agree. You don't expect bugs, okay.
But we didn't
bugs kind of given, yeah. I mean, sure they are, but I'm sorry, I want to rephrase it. I mean, like, extreme amount of bugs, like super game breaking, just huge amounts, you know? All the way, like, non-playable. I'm afraid of those 2 million people logging in. What's up, boy? How's it going, dude? I use MMO mouse, some flask piano on the same hand as mouse. My abilities are where WASD is. Oh, okay. Okay. It's gonna be super weird for you to get used to, no, Sajin? Since you're gonna move through WASD and use skills or somewhere else. No game breaking, but smaller ones, yes. I think so too. I'm with you on that one. Yeah, honestly, I have a side panel on my mouse. I have two buttons right now, but I do have an MMO version in my somewhere. Yeah, I don't know where it's at actually, but yeah, if anything, I'll just whip out MMO side panel. Expect there will be probably a lot of bugs when it comes to multiplayer. Oh, okay, I can see that actually. Yeah, that and maybe the what's it called? The trading maybe too. WSD isn't new. Most games I played. Right. I meant for you, right? Because you use skills on WSD. Now it's gonna be different. Very move. Really excited about the game. Hey, that makes 2 of us or all of us actually, my dude. Hey, yo, my dude. Trade a logout. Yeah, man, true. We don't trade here, right, Chad? We don't trade here, dude. We only trade with the guild members in the guild stash. By the way, do we know if you can trade with other players, like items, for example, if you're in a group, straight up, or is it only through guild stash? Or it must be normal trade, right? I play every other game the way I'll be playing PoE now, my man. Of course you can. Okay, just making sure. I believe so. Nice. They were talking about having the trade side. Trade side, true. Yeah, I heard it. I heard the same. I heard the same.
Event. But touching quickly back on that core foundational gameplay feel, perhaps most importantly, what I noticed here was the attacks and the spells and everything just feels really impactful.
Fire in the hole! Need a sec.
Fire the hole? Is this CS the 1.6?
And I weigh this pretty high in things that I look for when I play any RPG. I want to feel that impact behind.
Yo, appreciate it. Follow boy.
It's really satisfying in this game. They really.
You haven't seen this footage, have you?
Are just nailing that. And on top of just the general gameplay feeling really good, something that really stood out to me.
This looks way too smooth, man. Holy.
Gameplay. It's extremely engaging in PoE 2. It's very meaningful. You have to be deliberate with your actions. You have to pay attention to what's going on in the game, at least from my initial impressions perspective from someone who isn't a professional ARPG player. But this really stood out to me. And as much as I've liked a lot of ARPGs in the past, many of them to me have felt like they become purely number games where you try to get the highest number possible.
Look at the drip, dude. Look at the cloak physics. Hello?
Best gear that you can have, and then you take those numbers and that power from the skill tree and all the math that you did, you bring it into the game itself, and then you just kind of spam buttons. You don't really have to fully engage with the game all the time. PoE 2 didn't feel like that. Not that it's not going to have that. I think that will be a big part of the game, but it didn't feel like
this neck right here is sword, dude, amazing.
Mix between, you know,
with the fire combination
to have a good build and get good loot, mixed with active, engaging gameplay, and that really stood out to me. And a lot of this has to deal with, you know, creature design. Now, not every creature in this game requires like full focus, but when you're even just running.
By the way, guys, if you want to see all the gems and everything possible which you can get, just unclick the recommended, because for example for Warrior, from what I've seen, what Bajira showed, he had this, you know, ticked off recommended gems, and one of the main gems, they were just not there. One of the main gems, the recommended ones were kind of boosted. So I would just, you know, unclick this and check all the gems you can get, because that could be pretty crucial early on.
Encouraging you to have a good build and get good loot, mixed with active, engaging gameplay, and that really stood out to me. And a lot of this has to deal with, you know, creature design. Now,
Barzil, I watched the second half because I got to PC quite late, so I missed the first half. Should I watch it, or what did I miss there? Each one of those gems are the skills. Yes, either actives or support gems, which are like, you know, support your main skill, main gem. You missed most of it? We can watch it then. We can watch it after this one. The first couple of minutes, whatever. I don't know how long it was actually. Maybe I missed more actually, maybe. So we're gonna watch it after this video.
Not every creature in this game requires like full focus, but when you're even just running around on some of these maps, you can die if you don't pay attention. And the bosses in this game, you guys have probably seen plenty of boss footage, how cool these bosses look.
Oh, one bang,
cool
bro.
They have a ton of really cool mechanics, and there's a variety of different
one-way
things
ticket to Snap City.
And in many boss fights, you're kind of trying to study their animations a little bit, looking for the cues to know when to dodge, memorizing their attack patterns. Very, very engaging, a lot of these boss fights. And
wait,
memorizing.
Dude, his character said shite, look out.
Study their animations a little bit, looking for the cues to know when to dodge, memorizing their attack patterns. Very, very engaging, a lot of these boss fights. And even though I died a lot, these were deaths that I was really happy to experience because they were motivating deaths. And if I didn't die at all, I don't think I would be that excited.
How many skills can you run total? Oh, how many skills was it, chat?
Dead type game where you just
was it 12 or more?
That way at all. I died and I was like, oh, I got to get back there.
Because generally you have like 2 bars, like this first bar right here for active skills, and there is also second bar where you use like your auras or your stuff that's auto triggering. What up, wave? I think it's 10. I don't know, actually, dude.
Very engaging, a lot of these boss fights, and even though I died a lot, these were deaths that I was really happy to experience.
Plus ascendancies, 9 skill gems equipped by skills from weapon, and ascendancies don't count towards that number. Oh, that's sick. Okay, that is sick, dude. And just to confirm, you cannot anoint key passives on Amulet, right? Through Delirium. Just big F. Sick, yeah. Keystones, no? Okay, thank you. Rip.
Because
Rip Whisper of Dooms. Only notables can be anointed? Okay.
they were motivating deaths, and if I didn't die at all, I don't think I would be that excited about this game, because it would feel kind of like a brain dead type game where you just spam things. I didn't feel that way at all. I died and I was like, oh, I got to get back there and overcome this challenge of this boss.
Keystones or jewels with weapon points? Gotcha.
That feeling of accomplishment adds a lot to the gameplay. And this brings me into the multiple skills that you are actually incentivized to use in.
Did they say where you get jewels? Are jewels just random drop?
This game. So in PoE 1, it's known to be a one-button spam game. Like, you get this one skill, you make it as powerful as possible, you go into a map and you just spam that.
Anyone has TLDR on trials, like what they do, like how they work? There are 2 of them, right? One is with the Sacred Water, which is honor. Is that the same? And the second one is like each level you get a modifier of for that level, like avoid traps, stuff like that. It's rewards. That one sounds a bit more tempting. How about trials? Any TLDRs on trials? That's the one thing I haven't really dug into, yeah.
That one skill. PoE 2 has a system where it kind of encourages you to use multiple skills for your character. There's
same thing from PoE 1. Oof, I don't remember that, dude.
Like, you know, maybe you freeze opponents with one spell and then you shatter them with a different spell. And this encourages like this dynamic type of combat.
So what's Mirror? Mirror of Kalandra. You can basically copy an item, and it's the most rare item in the game. People have been playing this game for 10 years, PoE 1, never dropped a mirror, like my boy Tui. Roguelite, a tower climb kind of thing. Oh, okay. Okay. That's the one with the levels, right? And the traps. The one I was talking about before. Okay. How about the first one? The first trial then? With the Sacred Water? Or Honor? Is that the same thing? Sacred Water and Honor?
Combat where you're using skills to use other skills, and it makes it really, really engaging. And personally, I much prefer a game where I'm incentivized to use multiple skills versus just spamming one skill. So I think they did a really good job with that, and I don't think it's going to upset a lot of the hardcore PoE 1 players. In fact, many of them seem to be kind of excited for this. And also on a similar subject that kind of ties into the encouragement of players doing multiple things versus just spamming one button over and over, this game has like this dual specialization passive element to it for the passive.
He's got a mace and a crossbow, dude. Log in.
And you fill out the passive
first player who's got 2 weapons, man.
When you switch to a
What's up,
secondary weapon,
that chest was empty. 500. I was about to say, bro, hello? What happened? Under your stat that cannot go to 0 or you lose the trial. That's your stat. Okay. Okay.
The passive tree actually switches to represent to a relaxed video. You just kind of get the feeling of how.
Oh, let's go friend game here.
Character progression in this game is insane. It's awesome. There's so much to do. What you want. There's a whole bunch of. As far as endgame goes,
what's up, Angel? Happy Thanksgiving to you as well. Thank you very much.
Entire presentation on it, but I didn't necessarily understand.
It's like HP bar in there. Oh, okay. Okay.
Different systems that you can engage with in the endgame at the start of early access, and there's going to be more as the game develops. And it seems like it's going to offer a lot of content for players.
Can you gather honor by killing mobs? Yes.
Through the campaign once or twice.
I think I need to rewatch the video where they showed it. I don't even know where they showed it.
I don't know if they're called trials, but there's something that I remember Grinding Gear talking about, to where you can do like these challenges in some of these dungeons, like a no-hit challenge. And if you complete that dungeon with that challenge, you get like special unique items or something like that, or some progression mechanic increases for your character. But knowing that the game offers challenges like that really motivates a player like myself, especially in endgame. Because
Only from fonts
many times
and
you get to
blessings.
endgame, you get so
Ah.
powerful in a lot of games that you do kind of get to turn your brain off and just kill everything. Well, if these special challenges are offered for certain dungeons, and I'm sure these are offered in PoE 1 and other ARPGs, I just am not as familiar with them myself, that gives players like me something to look forward to keep challenging, you know, my skill and my builds and everything. And I'm very excited to do like a no-hit dungeon. Like, that's going to add a lot of intensity and engagement to dungeons that may have otherwise, you know, started feeling quite boring and redundant at that point in the game. Before we get into my summary of impressions here, this video is going on way longer than I expected. Thank you guys for all of you guys that have listened to this video all the way through. I do want to say that I did actually look up several other ARPG content creators and wanted to hear their perspective on PoE 2 from what they played. And I'm very, very happy to say that I think every single creator that I've listened to seems to be really excited for this game. And that's
It's kind of hard to not be excited for this game, man.
Even as a player who's coming into this as more of
It
a
just looks
casual
amazing.
ARPG player, knowing that the OG fan base and the ARPG crowd, the real ARPG crowd, seems to also be excited for this game, makes me happy. And it really makes me want to support Grinding Gear games, even if I don't become a hardcore ARPG player myself for this game. I really, really respect when companies take care of their OG fans and the core of the genre fan base and don't completely ruin a game to try to get a wider audience. It doesn't seem like Grinding Gear is doing that with PoE 2, and I just love to see that. Love it, love it, love it, love it. And to kind of summarize everything here, some of you guys will just jump to this chapter marker. You guys don't even watch the videos. You just go to the final thoughts. I stand by what I said. I feel like this is the best feeling ARPG I've ever played in my entire life from an initial impressions perspective from someone who historically is a bit more of a casual ARPG enjoyer. This game feels really, really good. Once again, this doesn't mean the servers will be good on December 6th. There could be some serious problems, but the core of the gameplay just feels so good in this game, and it's
kind of
really
nice to hear like thoughts and opinions from someone who doesn't really play RPGs.
Focus on end game versus just the campaign.
It's pretty cool, I think.
Like Diablo 4 feels like it focuses more on just the casual campaign experience and then leaves all the end game stuff behind. Like, it's not really that good. I really like to see that in this game, and the campaign also just feels like it has a lot to it. I mean, we're talking on average 25 hours for early access for acts 1 through 3. So when all 6 acts come out, feels like a pretty good experience for people, for even for those who just want to play the campaign and do nothing else, especially considering that the game will be free to play when version 1.0 comes out. I really, really love how the combat is meaningful. You have to be deliberate with your actions. You're encouraged to use multiple skills. There's a dodge for all classes to keep the movement feeling engaging, and you really have that sense of control over your character. And in fast-paced games, that sense of control is very, very important. I love that you can now use 2 weapons without it being like a bad thing to do in this game. That's going to add a lot of excitement and some really, really cool opportunities for really awesome builds. There's so many builds that you can do in this game. This is seriously a build guide YouTuber's wet dream. I don't do a ton of builds myself, but I am excited for those of you that do builds, because there's so much to do in this game. There's so much variety. The world is dark, mature, gritty.
When do you guys think we will see meta builds? When do you guys think the meta will be settled?
Of us have just been aching for with games, as we see games, you know, kind of
stop hyping the game. Hey, I'm just watching some fellow content creators, bro. Hey, yo.
Disneyfy themselves and are scared to be, you know, hardcore and real and show real blood and guts. This is it, man. The dark ass world. I'm excited for the story. I hope it will be dark even later too. Now, with that said, it costs $30.
You think 2 weeks, Jeremiah? Nah, nothing will be longer than that.
Launches, it will be free to play. So if you're hesitant, you know, just don't even join the early access. Just wait for the game to launch, and you can actually play for free whenever that launch day actually is. But I am so excited and into it that there's not a chance that I'm not going to miss day 1 of early access. So yeah, bravo.
Sejin, I will send you something on Discord, okay? I'll send you something on Discord later. Pretty boosted take, man, even for me. But hold on. Oh, there's a recap of the interview. You wanna watch that instead for now from Fusion? Do you wanna watch that instead, Mike and Arzel, or do you wanna watch the full interview? There's a pretty beefed up drama in Mobilitics Discord for with content creators, Sajin, and it escalated a bit too much, man, which is pretty fucking insane because it's channel for content creators. I don't know, man, it's kind of crazy. I thought that shit happens in Twitch chat, you know, only, but no. Let me sub to my man, dude. Let me sub to my man. Man, at least on Spills is dead PoE1 already for a few years. It's not that they removed it in PoE2. Oh, you already talked about the full ascendancy information, Jonathan, interview. Ah. Okay.
Hello Exiles, and today I'm going to be giving you a rundown of the new interview that has just happened with Zizoran and Jonathan Rogers.
Victoria with the foul, thank you very much.
Quite a lot discussed, so I will go through that in a second. Before we get there, this weekend I am going to be streaming all weekend on Twitch, so if you want to come and join me, there is my Twitch handle. My link is in the description, so throw us a follow and come join me. For anyone else...
Does this mean PoE1 will slowly die? I got 7,000 hours into the game. No. PoE1 will be also expanded on. They will expand PoE1 as well. New leaks, stuff like that. They will still keep developing PoE1 at the same time with PoE2, right? So I hope that obviously the leaks will not be at the same time, but yeah. Don't worry.
On YouTube, then throw us a subscribe, hit that bell, and you will get notified. And finally, we are getting close to the final few days for the early access. So if you do want to be in with a chance of winning, then you will need to obviously watch the video that's in the description below. Good luck to everybody, and keep an eye out on Thursday because I will be posting a new video with all of the winners for the early access key giveaway. With that being said, let's jump into the content. So today, Zizoran had a very long interview with Jonathan Rogers, and he went through an absolute metric ton of information. As it says on the interview, there was 21 major points that he did go through. There is an extra 4 that I am going to discuss, but I wouldn't class them as major, so we will come back to that at the end. I'm going to run through these as quick as possible, so just bear with me, but we got a lot to get through, so let's begin. So the first thing that he wanted to discuss and was discussed was regards to tabs. So he did ask what's going to happen to all of the tabs that we currently have that are related to league content that is not going to be in Path of Exile 2 on launch. And basically, Jonathan stated that they will stay, they will not be moving over to Path of Exile 2. They will stay as their actual tab. So for example, if we just pick the Blight tab, for example, he did say that you will not get a tab for that specific tab, because he has plans in the future to be able to bring that content back. So that means that in essence, he did kind of confirm that Blight will be returning at some point in the future. As and when, we have no idea. They may also need to rework the reward system because the oil system has now been changed and it's now all based around the distilled emotions. So there is potentially a complete rework of Blight that potentially will be coming in the future. Next thing he discussed was target dummies. He did mention that he's not opposed to the idea. He said, but the main thing that he was concerned about it was, what do? Do you add armor to the dummy? Can you add resists to the dummy? That would then create an entire new UI that they would have to build. And at the end of the day, Zizoran said no, just a base dummy that literally has no resist, no armor, we would be happy with. Jonathan did go on to state that he would not be opposed to that and he would be more than happy to add that in, but just not at the moment. They then carried on to discuss about bosses, and he said that you are not able to portal out of a boss fight. You are literally banned from portaling out of a boss fight. He also said that you cannot swap gear in the middle of a boss fight. Now, most people may not have noticed this, but on some builds, people have been known to swap gear mid-fight. You are now not allowed to
follow
do
Rossi.
that, so you cannot use the boss fight. However, he did then go on to say that if you do go into a boss fight, let's say you're in hardcore mode and it is a little bit difficult, then you are able to log out and go back to checkpoint and just not enter.
You can TP out a boss fight, can you? You can press escape and go to checkpoint. No, man, come on. You just cannot use a portal from the down bottom right here, but you can press checkpoint. Nah, that's cooked, bro. That's cooked. There's no portal. They're adding in the return to checkpoint. That is wild. Literally a log out. Hey, yo, boys, time to log out. Log in and then log out. Never played PoE. I'm a bored AF with gaming. What are some of the hardest things to learn about PoE and what are some good starting tips? Starting tips, I'll go with those, my man. Yes, the skill tree is very... I think the skill tree is the hardest thing. It might be very intimidating and scary because it has 1500 nodes. But dude, if you read through the passives in there, read through the active skills, which are gems, and then items, it will start making sense and it will add up. I recommend doing the builds in the build planner. Like I know Mobilitix is working on build planner. I will do my builds there as well. So that will be my main thing to go. Or you can just follow a guide from content creator. But yeah, don't be afraid to go for your own build because this game is, you know, brand new. Even PoE 1 players that played before for many hours, they will learn as well in the game. And just take it easy, dude. There is no need to rush. Early access is here for at least 6 months until full release. So try more classes as well, more ascendancies, which is a subclass to a normal class. And yeah, there's gonna be scripts to instantly return to checkpoint 1 click or kill TCP connection. I can totally see that, dude. I can totally see that. Read everything? Well, not really everything because your brain will cook, but I mean, okay, I should have said it first, but pick a weapon you like, pick a skill, a gem that you like and attack, and expand on that. Characters you make in early access, you will get to keep them as like a legacy character, but you won't be able to really play them on full release. But they will not wipe them. You will be able to look at them basically.
To the boss arena, but he did say that if you do Alt F4 it will literally remove you, and then when you log back in again it will put you back at the exact same position in the middle of the boss room. That is to ensure that nobody can basically cheese a fight, but if you are struggling to do the fight you can literally just click log out and log out to restart at checkpoint. Now one of the biggest takeaways and one of the massive things that he did say is that they have now added in what's called a instance pause, which is based on lag. He said that if your instance hits,
oh yeah, they said they might do scenes in early access. That's true.
The entire instance will automatically pause for you, which is massive for hardcore players because if you lose internet, it's pretty much a death sentence. But it's also a good thing for softcore because if you gain any form of lag, internet latency issues, then your game will pause and you shouldn't die, which is always going to be a good thing.
That is sick, man.
Go on to talk about separate names and the fact.
Is he doing? Is it Delirium? No. Is currency from? No, hold on. No, it's not. Never mind. It's normal currency.
You shouldn't die.
Okay.
Which is always going to be a good thing.
Also, Rossi. Same with these items you see on the screen. This is crafting currency. You craft items. You craft so-called maps, which is your endgame content, like little dungeons, if you will. And you can also, like, that's what you're used to for crafting here. It always says, like, what it does. So it's also, like, you know, reading through it, big plus. Hardcore or Logan. Will every swords or daggers? Sadly, nope. Any class will be able to use them, yes. But daggers will come with Shadow, I believe, class. And swords will come with Duelist class. So those two are unknown when they will release. Yeah, definitely hold on to these crafting currency. Definitely. Don't craft anything while leveling, but hold for it. Well, apparently they increase the chances of this currency to drop while you level or while you do main story, whatever act. So I wouldn't be afraid of using these actually. They made it sound that you will get a lot of these, so I will still go at it. You craft 100% while leveling? Yeah. I think it will be super hard if you don't do that. I think crafting while leveling is a must. Because you will get to know the mechanics, how it works as well, right? No worries, babe. No worries. I myself want access, bro. Sadly, no access, dude. Gotta wait for that, brother.
He did then go on to talk about separate names and the fact that the naming system is very similar to how it is in PoE 1 and that you cannot have the same user having the same name. So basically, if you want to have a name, a specific name, then you are going to have to be the first to get it. So be quick in typing those names in. Next thing was discussed was overriding runes. Now, he said currently there is no way to override runes, but again, he said he is not opposed to discussing it and that he wanted to have a discussion with Rishi and Mark to see whether they would be happy to change it. And Zizarin brought up a very good point, mentioning that imagine you see the best item on the trade site, however, there is runes that are socketed in it, which are absolutely garbage. You basically just ruin the entire item, which is a very good point. So he stated that runes are very strong early campaign. When you get to late game, end game, runes are possibly not that strong, and that you are more going to be focused on trying to get soul cores, and as they are connected to a lot of.
Okay, now soul cores are from which trial? The second one with the roguelike? You want those soul cores, baby? Yes, sir. It's chaos. Ultimatum. Yeah, that's the one that you get through levels and avoid traps. You know, pick modifier for each level, right? Much know it's metagaming. True. Honestly, Sajid, I'm getting lost in the sauce with trials. That's the only thing I'm getting kind of lost in the sauce. It's the one without traps. Fuck. The one with honor, aka sacred water. It's not, isn't it? Because I don't remember Ultimatum or Sanctum in PoE 1. I don't remember that one. That one does not give soul cores. So there are 3 trials then. Fuck, dude. Help me, bro. Mr. Nomar with the sub on YouTube. Thank you, man. Thank you. Holy boosted. Yeah, I should just rewatch videos, man, where they talk about the trials. To understand it.
Player power, and he stated that there are also some very strong divine
3 days on Patron. Yes sir, dude.
Soul cores which you will be looking for to try and get on your gear. The next thing he does discuss is mana leech.
Okay.
He does say that on mana leech there is only available for attacks and that they have removed mana leech for spells. So if you are wanting to try and build a build for mana leech on spells, then unfortunately it is dead. Unlucky. They then go on to discuss crit, and he does say that is it more of a reliance within Pathofexile 2 to try and get to 100% crit, and Jonathan disagreed and said no, because the trade-off you are sacrificing to try and get to 100% crit, you are going to be sacrificing too much, and it's not necessarily needed. Which kind of makes me think that you are not going to need that much damage when it comes to PoE 2 to be able to do a substantial amount of damage, and you're not going to have to get to 100%.
What's up, Agent?
Crit, which then does make me think that if you do
something
get to 100% crit, then you are going to be doing a lot of damage. But it's a bit of swings around.
Just watching a recap from interview that went down today between Zizaran and Jonathan. And this is a recap video from Fusion. How about you, Agent? How we doing, dude?
So you either go for 100% crit and you're going to be really, really squishy, or you go for medium amounts of crit and you could be quite tanky. That is entirely your decision. He very briefly touched on rare items, and tier 5 rare items he said are rarer than hen's teeth. I have never heard that term before, but I'm going to assume that they are very, very, very rare, and you may potentially need to add a bit of rarity maybe onto your gear to try and get that. That is going to be the chase items, is trying to get some.
Why are we exiled on this path? Because we disagree with the king or something, right? Honestly, no clue about the lore, dude. I am absolutely clueless when it comes to lore. I skip everything in every game, bro. Sorry, sue me. It is what it is.
Tier 5 rare items, because they're the ones that have got the best rolls. He did also
I'm
mention
Gucci,
that there
my
are
man.
some tier rolls that just won't roll.
There is lore story?
Based
Question
on the actual
mark.
tier of the item, which is really, really good, and it'll exclude an entire mod pool, which is pretty amazing. They very briefly touched on crit mechanics in terms of bosses, and he said that they are looking to potentially doing it so that crit boss mechanics are based on per projectile, or that's how it should work, but he was going to discuss it with Mark because he wasn't quite sure on how it works in terms of does each projectile roll the dice on whether it's going to be a crit or not. He just did not know. So with that element, basically, potentially there could be crit mechanics based on the bosses. We just won't know until we get into the game and until we get a bit more in-depth playtime in early access. The next one is they discussed support bots / aura bots, and he stated that their potentially aura bots are going to be dead in terms of Path of Exile 2. He said you will not have a character that will literally just be reserving all of their mana, running around doing nothing. You will either have them supporting you in some way by removing armor, debuffing the monsters, maybe freezing time like a Chronomancer. You'll actually be having to actively do something to help the other player. So you're not going to literally just be running around buffing them all the time and doing nothing. He then went on to discuss map mods and stated that they do not affect the loot from the map. Similar to how an 8 mod map would influence the juice.
Because the count we used to be good to the people got tempted by the power of by his wife. So he goes and gets it at the beast, which is the tentacles you see in the trailer. Oh shoot! Staging with the lore? Tips and tricks right here. Excuse me? There you go, Zumatron. Haven't actually been paying attention to any of the videos, so I really don't know anything about the game. There's big trees and cool shit. Hey man, nothing wrong with going in totally blind.
In PoE 1, he did state that in PoE 2, the modifiers don't affect the drops. He said, and he was quite certain on that, and he said that it's going to be quite fun to see what people roll on maps to try and get them, because there is 3 positive and 3 negative mods. It's a bit of a swings and roundabouts situation. You're going to have to see what mod you get, but it doesn't matter how many mods you get. He seemed to say that it doesn't affect the loot from the drops. They discussed ascendancy in terms of special skills. So I did a video recently where they stated that obviously your infernal skill for the infernal hound for the infernalist, and any skill that is based to an ascendancy you can then support. What they then queried was, does that necessarily join you on your skill screen as a 5-socketed item? And Jonathan basically states no. Skill will level up based on what level you are, and it will gain more sockets as you level up, and he believes that once you hit...
If you look at the bosses, they basically reset, by the way. Yeah, I know. So you will get the 6 portals worth of attempts if you don't die, but it still restarts them. So, but yeah, I heard that, man. No shortcuts even for softcore boys right here, man. One and done. Which is going to be insane to get all the keys let's talk about yesterday. Get the keys for like Pinnacle Boss, dude. Just to enter the room, get one shot by his mechanic, and then go get it. For all the keys. That'd be sick, man.
80 and above, you will then get 5 sockets, and it's more based on character level and progression. They went on to confirm that low life has now gone back to 35%.
Look out, spam for a good witch hunter.
It used to be.
Oh shit,
basically,
bro! What
there
the
was some
hell?
changes that made that it was a 50%, but now
That's
it's gone
wild,
back
dude.
to 35%. So that is obviously implemented for Path of Exile 2. He was asked whether we're going to see ascendancies shown before the launch, and he basically was unsure and said that he didn't seem opposed to it, but he would need to discuss it with the community. Zizaran literally did a poll while they were in the interview, and 77% wanted to see the ascendancies before early access launch. So,
or like the great cutie pie. Aww, instead of great stage.
Access. He then went on to
Making
discuss
moves, bro.
towers and stated that all of the towers, you can only use them once. So you can only use 1 tablet per tower, and that is basically it. So you want to try...
I didn't pay attention. I gotta go again. Ascendancies shown prior. We have seen he's talked about... Okay, tower mechanics. Here we go.
Access. He then went on to discuss towers and stated that all of the towers, you can only use them once. So you can only use 1 tablet per tower, and that is basically it. So you want to try and make sure that you juice
Doctors only, this guy, dude.
Because once you've used it, that tower is then redundant. He then touched on servers, and he said that he is not confident in terms of the servers and whether they're going to survive, but he said that they have set out for 1 million server instance capacities because he feels that they are not going to exceed that. However, he does know that they have spoke to the cloud partners for servers, and if it does exceed 1 million, then there are obviously contingencies in place to be able to extend that to make sure that they do have enough numbers to be able to play effectively without any issues. He was asked about ExileCon, and he stated that they did actually originally intend to have an ExileCon next year for 2025. However, with the fact that they're going to be focusing so much on trying to get 1.0 finished, and ExileCon,
you name your monkey dinar. What a mad lad, this guy.
Making sure that everything's ready, doing the whole keynote speech, making sure that they have all the technology and all of the information, and even all of the set design and everything that's required. He said it's just too much to try and organize at the same time as trying to do the 1.0 release. He did state that if they had infinite resources, then yes, he would have done it next year, and it would have been the perfect marketing opportunity to have an ExileCon right before the 1.0 release, but he said it's just too much work. They then go on to discuss the fact that the one death boss fights are implemented for the entire game. So basically, if you walk into the pinnacle boss at the end of the end game and he then hits you with one shot and you die, then you are going to have to then farm up those keys again to be able to get back to the pinnacle boss again. There is no 6 portals. It is a case that if you die, that is it. It is done. And that is across all of the pinnacle bosses across the game and pretty much all of the maps as well. And finally, the last point is that we asked about
darling.
preload. Are we going to be able to have a preload for the 112?
True, man. Boss will be very punishing if you die. Yeah.
And he stated that the only issues that he had with it was data mining. And that is the only reason why
just to find a new one. So it's time to just overgear and just touch bosses later. I don't even know how to, like, how do you know? How can it be certain? You can never be certain, but how can you guess that you're ready for a boss? How could you measure it?
He's held off giving it away because he knows that people are going to be data mining it. However, he said he needs to discuss it because he knows that people will need to download it and people's internet, and people don't usually have the best internet. So he is conscious of that, and he is going to discuss it with the team and decide what he wants to do for preloading. So to answer the question of preload, pre-download, we don't know. And that is basically it in terms of the 21. I'm now going to run through the 4 bonus.
You go in and get fucked, then you know a simple solution, right? Simple solution, just wing it, bro. Simply assume you're always him and you're gonna... That's a great one, that's a great one. If maps around the same tier feels good, then you should be okay. Right. Remember to have defensives and offensives built when you can. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. No more glass cannon builds even for softcore. For other dudes, other people. Right, boys. Set and V, yeah, with the follow. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Points, which you did.
No offense, only defense. It depends on defensive layers. I feel like you're going to need a lot for cover in PoE 2. I agree. I actually agree. Well, I cannot wait to stack up some that max life with Titan and armor as well, because he's kind of supported for both. Oh, we'll see, man. We'll see. Like in PoE 1, I don't even upgrade my gear until campaign is done almost, and then after campaign, I don't upgrade until I've done tier 16s. It's dumb, just dumb to do it in PoE 2. Okay. Dual wield shields. Yeah, that's not sadly possible. That's not possible. Shout out to Maya for giving out one more key chat. So for probably Thursday or for the weekend, I will have additional key to give away. So thank you, Maya. Appreciate that. I appreciate ya. They should make it possible. Yeah. Luck winner. Thank you.
Through. So he did munch on to say that there is a new mode in the settings menu. So people usually use lockstep and predictive in game, which obviously helps with freeze and lag and all that type of stuff. He did say that there is a new mode called hybrid, which is in the middle of lockstep and predictive, but it still does freeze your game if there is any issues server side, but he said it is a hell of a lot better. He very briefly
wait, preload will be 112 gigabytes of early access. Holy, that's crazy. Vutra is a G. Well, it's a she, so still a G. 112 gigs, yes sir. Yeah, pretty massive.
The fact that there is no orb of regrets and everything is based on gold. I already knew this, but it was good to obviously have a confirmation of that. So there is no orb of regrets and everything.
Diablo will be in the bargain bin after PoE release. R.I.P. dude. R.I.P. Well, speaking of, actually tomorrow there is a PTR for Season 7 of Diablo, so I'm gonna check it out. Because that will be probably the only day I'll be able to check it out, and Wednesday. Because of Thursday, which is one day before release, I'm gonna be back to PoE 2, doing a giveaway, so yeah. It's over 100 gigs, it has high quality assets, so it's similar to D4. It becomes available to download 2-3 hours before launch. No, I hope not, man. You know, because my internet is shit, brother. My internet is dog water. I hope it's one day prior at least, man, on Thursday. Yeah, fucking hell already knows, man. Fuck! Guess I'm deleting Diablo. Yeah, all you guys with fucking whatever you guys connections have. Y'all can just laugh, huh? I get fucked then, big time. Usually downloads at 5 p.m. and league starts at 8. It was like that PoE 1. Yeah, I'm still fucked. If it's 112 gigs, unless there's a button, there's an option to not download high quality assets, which are for 4K gaming, right? Then we're chilling, which will make the game 50 gigs. Same with D4. My internet will carry me to victory. Oh my days, dude. Feel free to watch my stream on your stream, Wolf. You think I will be able to with my download? Crazy as hell, man. Data mine happens after download is available. Yeah. 112 gigs is no shaft real then. It's like 5 hours. Yes. Man, but Narzalino, what? Fuck you, bro. It's 10 to 15 minutes download for you. Sure, same for Maya, same for Hell, same for Sajin. Sure, let's go at me. Come at me. Come at me. 10 minutes for me, 5 hours for Wolf. Holy fuck, despair. Absolute despair. You know what? I hope there is a massive queue. I'm sorry, I'm not sorry. If the download is 3 hours before the league starts or EA starts, fuck you all. How do you have shit net in capital city? You wanna know something crazy, Sajin? In the whole fucking street I live in, which is not too far from like, you know, the center or whatever, there is no optic cables in the ground. How the is that possible, bro, in 2024? Excuse me. That's how bad it is. My Wi-Fi is pretty good. Gonna take you out an hour to download on a Wi-Fi? Bro, what am I doing? Where do I live? He literally lives in the only part of Prague where they don't have fast internet. Yes. There's no other part like that in our city. True. I mean, my brother Diplo, he has a what's it called? He has an apartment at the edge of Prague almost, and he's got better internet than me. My internet sucks like yours. Damn. Firm handshakes, plugs up. Firm handshakes. Make it hold hands on the release date and while watching screens at blank screens with downloads. All right. Jonathan did say that there was a lot of people that bought EA. Right. There's not even a 0.001 of Prague surface and no 100 RNG. Oh my god, man. I need to get me a rope, dude. I need to get me a rope for December 6th. You gonna donate so Ulf can get a new house? I think they will end up doing free download anyway. Yeah. At least one day, you know? So I can leave it overnight to a little cheeky 6-hour download. I mean. Thermal Liberty update on 5th and Marvel Rivals DNL is on 5th, huh? Damn, dude. Going to sleep but going to let the stream play for watching hours. Hey yo, Angel, you're absolute legend. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. See you tomorrow, brother. Thanks for the awesome stream. No worries, Angel. Thank you very much for stopping by and being here. I appreciate it. Angel from YouTube. And wish you a good night, bro. What up, Mighty Mouth? Hello from Ohio. Mr. Mouth from YouTube. Stay blessed. I'm away to work. Scared and excited for December 6th. Gotta make room PS5. We were just talking about the size of the game and download, man. I'm down bad because my connection is bad. But I hope you have a great day at work. Mighty Mouth, thank you for saying that. And likewise to you, my man. All the way from Czechia. You live in Perth, bro, a desert. I have a terabyte internet. Agent, bro. Why you do me like that, man? My boy Agent lives in the desert with a terabyte of a goddamn internet. Oh my god, so definitely rope angle, man, on Friday. Jesus. Well, it's great. I'm happy for you guys. You guys make me feel much better. Thank you for that, by the way. Great. Feel amazing. Yeah. My SMR right here. Is it stream safe? TOS. Dial up? Oh man. How do you know, man? That's crazy. Man, holy shit. My internet sucks too, YouTube Wave. Oh man, at least I'm not the only one. They usually also allow a torrent earlier than the normal downloader. Oh. Overnight, damn, dude. Do you still hear the sound when your phone line connects? Yeah, you guessed it already, dude. You already guessed it. Gotta wait to mess around with Trip in this game. The Trip will be gigantic, Zombatron. I got a feeling this game isn't going to be a Trip oriented. Oh, dude, Zombatron. Brother. you're in for a treat. If you don't think MTX and Drip isn't strong in this game, you'll be shocked. Why you gotta flex on us like that? I got 200 megs. Well, that's 100 more than me because I got 100 download. Holy shit, bro. That's crazy though, mate. Yeah, it's crazy. That is pretty insane.
In terms of respecking your tree is based on gold. He also mentioned...
Listen, Maya, no one asked you, okay? You can shove your 10 gigabytes to Czech Republic on my address, please. Thank you very much.
that player rarity is multiplicative with the map rarity, he said, as it is in PoE 1. And finally, guild tabs are not being ported over. So as we know, guilds are not obviously being transferred from PoE 1 to PoE 2. He did say that all of the tabs are in the same boat. So if you are currently in a guild and you have bought multiple guild tabs, then you will need to buy them again until they have transferred.
Gotta swipe for guild stash tabs, boys.
How long is that going to take? I have no idea. That is based on how long they have got to do.
1 gig is amazing, Zumbatron. You're flying, brother.
And that is basically it, guys.
Do we have a guild? Oh, but yes, we do. And there are also... there was a poll on stream. I'm sorry, on Discord with the names. And I'm going to show you which were those, okay? I'm going to show you what are those. So basically, it already ended. I forgot to put it for longer than 24 hours, but... For me, I'm leaning, I know I voted for Diablo. So for me, it's two, right? It's either Diablo Exiles or Q Invaders. Because we're gonna be neck deep, right, in that. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Guys, if you guys are, want any of these, speak up. Speak up. Doesn't matter how good my turn is. My PC dookie bot. Oh boy. I need royalties on Q Invaders. Yeah, I'm leaning towards this one as well. What if for Diablo like, since we come from Diablo for real? True. True. And honestly, even if you're not playing Diablo, Jonathan did say that they made PoE 1 as a continuation to Diablo 2, right? So this is the PoE 1 is the original continuation of Diablo. Easy. Don't insult me like that. This guy's ego is through the roof, bro. No one talked about you. Well, actually, they did. How many are the notorious Evolve a Druid from Diablo 4? Sajan, come on now. Come on now. My WoW guild was called Justice for Thrall, like a play on Metallica album. Oh, that's cool, dude. That's cool. Line him up. So you want to enjoy right here? Yeah. Ah, I up, man. Imagine PoE 2 with strong stories, D2. True. Still saying Exile. PoE is not Diablo. No, it's not. No, it's not. That's not what I'm trying to say. But I mean, like a real continuation to Diablo 2, right? It's just PoE 1. And Jonathan said the same, right? They just wanted to make a Diablo. I mean, they wanted to make a game that basically is upgrade to Diablo 2. All these D4 players invading my queue are giving me sleepless nights. What's up, Viking? Did I mess up and have to buy another copy for Xbox since I bought EA from Steam? Or am I good as long as I'm linked up on their website? Oof. Let me think about that connection, brother. Let me think about the connection. You should be fine. Why do I IQ default? Thank you very much. You should be fine, I think. Yeah, you should be good. Because when you get the packs on the website, you have a key, like general key that you can claim on the website, and then you have a key for Epic Games, yeah, and then separate Steam. You should be fine. Should be all good, bro. Yeah, if you're linked on the website. Actually, hold on, Viking. In the account information on the website, it should tell you if you have access to early access, because it does tell me there in the green text that you have access and you'll be able to play on the 1st, on the 6th. Just log into your PoE 2 account, like Xbox, you're good. Yeah. Gotta wait, man. 3 days. Log in.
I've tried to do it as quickly as I can because there was a lot of information, and I've tried to condense it in as much detail as possible just so that you could understand what has been discussed. Other than that, guys, if you are still here, thank you for watching, and until the next video, keep an eye out over the next couple of days because I'm going to be posting some more videos for juicing your way.
All right, it was cool. That was good. It was good. Oh, hello there. Chat, what packs did you go for? What packs did you go for? I'm excited for the kiwi in here from this pack, dude. This kiwi looks marvelous, splendid, majestic. Majestic being a OG pack only right here. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You went with the 480 as well. I appreciate supporting the devs, boys. I appreciate supporting the devs. It's going to be worth it, man. It's going to be worth it. T-shirt, hoodie, and art book. I cannot wait for the art book to see like more order and just design. That's going to be awesome. Join the club for handshakes. For those of you who got big packs with extra keys, if you guys don't know what to do with those, you're free to donate them for the giveaway on the stream. But of course, that is all up to you. And the thing is, I don't really like the skins in the 480. Me neither. Me neither, bro. But still. Actually, the portal is cool, though. I like the kiwi. Kiwi is my favorite here. I'm gonna use this one. This one is awesome as well. All of them are great. All of them have something amazing. Suppose that you get everything from the other packs. Exactly. 2 square and generic. Yeah. Yeah. This one looks insane with the hands, dude. This one looks wild. And the fact that you actually float. And here's where you get the your hideout as the dreadnought. Moving hideout is the best weapon. I agree. Yeah. That one is nice. Demon Witch. Yeah, dude. I'm the biggest fan. I'm the biggest fan of this one, dude. A wolf skin, bro. The sword. Well, we won't be able to use the sword, but anyways. Can the days hurry the hell up so we can play? What's up, Nicholas? I know, right? 3 more days to go, bro. Holy. All the boats for it. Dude, I agree with that one, man. Because I was saying with the boats, I will be doing some boat racing on the stream, dude. For some either currency or some prizes. I think that would be a cool idea. You were swimming around and crashing to each other at night? Oh man, that must be cool. Yeah, you can do it in PoE 1, right? Right now. PoE 2 might be the end of my TNL blasting. No wonder, dude. I almost hope it's dude, I know, Hells. I know. Yeah. Okay, hold on, I need to read up something. Okay. Did anybody having 480 USD checked the shield skin in PoE 1? Oh, I have not. I have not, dude. The shield skin. What would you like to know about this one? I think it's not looking how it's supposed to. You know what? I think all these skins will look very different in PoE 2. Because even on the stream, all these skins were showcased as from PoE 1 because they didn't make it in time. It's really small and round. Oh, really? Because that does not look like it here. Out of all the skins, that's the only one I like. Me too, Nicholas. Me too, bro. Yeah, I am with you on that one. Well, I would like some weapon skins. I mean, like glowing, right? The glows. This one looks very cool. I like this one, this effect. As a Paladinos. This one as an execute too. Sick, man. Divine Paladin. Could be cool playing like the Bell Monk with this attachment. Oh, we got also penance supporter pack here. Do you think, guys, we will get new packs here? I mean, instead of these for PoE 2? But that was it that confirmed already, actually? Armor pack, portal effect. Ah. Cauldron. And this effect. First blood. Might get this one later, maybe. I might get that one. Do we get some... Look at the screenshot. Hold on. That's global. Let me see. Damn, it's moving. It's not moving. We are officially fucked. Excuse my French. PoE, the most globally selling game on Steam. PoE is number 3, chat. PoE is number 3. We are doomed. 3 million players on launch easy. Watch. Watch. I'm just wondering if they will give us MTX straight away for PoE 2 skills. I was wondering the same, because I have seen some. I'm gonna be playing a slammer build with slams, and I saw some pretty cool skins for that too. Steam Deck doesn't count, number 2. Yeah, right. So it's number 2. PoE is officially number 2, man. That is scary, dude. Cyberpunk is number 3. Damn. Yep, we're fucked, dude. We are fucked. Might be a boosted take, but the other skins here, dude. I'm not the biggest fan of these skins in PoE 1. Is it too boosted? Is that too boosted? Also, hold on. There was one more video I wanted to check from Dreamcore about some mechanics, because I missed some. The critical, I think, was it this one? No, this was just for the comments
to
before.
Another Path of Exile 2.
Below. Below. Watch that. Thorns, watch that too. Hey, appreciate the follow. I'm sorry if I butcher your name. Sichi? Psyche? Psyche? Bro, I'm sorry if I butchered it. Well, thanks for the follow, bro. Welcome. 11 days ago, crazy endgame grind system. Oh, I want to hear that. Yeah.
Path of Exile 2.
Because I plan to make a video as well about endgame. Hope for better in-game armor look in PoE 2. PoE 1 in-game item that look trash. I heard that from quite a few people as well. Yeah, let's hope so. But honestly, even from the low-level gameplay we have seen in the videos, armor looks good. Even the physics on like cloaks, that looks amazing. What up, Axu on the YouTube? Share my bro.
Early access will launch with considerably more endgame content than I think anyone really expected.
Let's hope so, Mikers. Let's hope so, dude.
The endgame is split into what's known as endgame grinds. Each one has their own system for leveling them up and progressing, and each offers unique rewards and character power.
I'm more interested in the trials here.
The Trial of the Sekima is the successor to PoE 1's Sanctum League. This mechanic is a type of Ascension Trial, which is first encountered in the campaign and will provide access to a character's Ascendancy unlock, but will also scale into endgame as one of the endgame grinds. To enter the trials, you'll need a coin containing the soul of a djinn. The Trial of the Sekima is essentially a roguelike minigame, with progressing rooms filled with different monsters and puzzles.
This is the
resource
roguelike.
called Honor is used here, and taking damage will make you lose Honor. If you hit 0, you're kicked out of the trial. Rooms contain bronze, silver, and gold.
Oh, the honor is over your HP bar then. Okay. Like Narzal said. So this is the honor trial, okay.
Keys
or I got confused before.
PoE 1's Labyrinth, and these keys can be used at the end of the floor if you make it through. Sacred water is also found during these encounters, a currency that can be spent at a vendor during the trials. Just like in PoE 1 Sanctum, at the end of each floor you'll fight a boss. The Altar of Ascendancy can be accessed via this mechanic, providing the option to choose your Ascendancy. Relics are items which are found as rewards and can be applied to the trials before entering, empowering your run with special modifiers. And unique relics will also exist, which alter the run in more drastic ways, such as making it so you must complete the entire run without being hit a single time, but you'll be rewarded handsomely for doing so. Jewels are a unique reward from this mechanic. They can be crafted, including crafting your own radius.
Oh, so they drop from here. That's the one I was talking about with the radius, with the increased effect of small passive skills and radius. That's what I was talking about. So jewels are from this trial.
The effect of nodes within their radius.
Which video showed this footage, by the way? The jewel is huge. It is, my holy. You know what else is huge? My hunger. I'm hungry. What's up, Trevor? Does this kind of content get boring to you? Not at all. Why? You mean like showing footage and whatnot for the game? Not really, actually, because there is a lot of information to learn and suck in.
Huh?
The trial of the Chaos God is another type of Ascension trial which is first encountered in Act 3. This one is the successor to PoE 1's ultimatum mechanic, but it's a bit different as it's no longer
I put a whole bag of
in-map
jelly beans up my ass.
Hope you liked it, bro.
mechanic. This trial will provide further progression towards a character's ascendancy, and once again, it will scale into endgame as another endgame grind. Entry into the trial of the Chaos God requires an inscribed ultimatum.
See?
Towards a character's ascendancy, and once again, it will scale into endgame as another endgame grind.
So both trials will be endgame grind as well, on top of 4 leagues, basically. Farming skills powder right now.
Entry into the trial of the Chaos God requires an inscribed ultimatum token
good.
from the Trial Master. Before entering each room, you'll be shown a reward, but to enter, you'll need to choose from one of 3 downside modifiers. These modifiers are not removed upon room completion, and instead stack up each time, increasing the difficulty as you progress. At the end of each room, you can choose to take your rewards or select another downside.
I agree, Chaos looks way more fun,
forward.
yeah. Mikers, you're from Czech Republic, aren't ya? Just curious about this getting boring, but not sure how many days videos have you been watching? Free nothing all over Twitch. Hey, likewise, Mikers, let's go, dude. Moshe. BTC for you all over Twitch. Yeah, we are all learning and down bad until the release. How can you know? Because I recognize the letter. Moshe. Your name literally says Bobber. 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 Kurva Bobber. Mikers, really? Does it? Not bad. In full despair. Not being able to play and having to wait for release.
Bosses can also be encountered in the Trial of the Chaos God, such as the Vulture of...
What's up else? World is dipping down again. Dude, I haven't seen the statistics on that game in a long time. All I know is Jiggy is trying to talk me into New World for a while now. Fucking Jiggy trash world never again. Once hell freezes over, we can play it. Yeah, yeah, exactly, dude, exactly.
of Chaos. Soul Cores are an exclusive reward from the Trial of the Chaos God.
Soul Cores
Crafting items can have the outcome of adding a socket, and you can place Soul Cores in these sockets to provide additional modifiers based on the item type. In the endgame version of this mechanic, the Trial Master is the pinnacle boss. Similar to PoE 1, the map device is used to access PoE 2's core endgame, mapping. The world map can be scrolled infinitely in any...
See you at Friday, I've worked till then. I took vacation 7 days. They gave you vacation this early on. Yo, Maya, let's go, girl. Let's go. Good luck to all the key winners. I appreciate Maya. Once again, thanks for the 1 key. And I wish you a good night. Have a great time at work, or try to. I'll see you on Friday. 15 spirit weapon noted. Wait, what did he say? Anti-roll bag. Anti-roll bag. I'll bet my balls he is. Look at these legends in the chat, man. It's Mr. Chewy, Mr. Bezos here. Hello. Jiggy is actually playing Sajin. He is. He's neck deep. He uninstalled 5 times and installed again. Welcome back, Trevor. I don't know, he turned into a hater. I would laugh my ass off if he was. Oh, he is. Yeah, you bet these, bro. And this is no joke with uninstalling 5 times. He even admitted it himself. He knows it. He knows it himself, dude. It's crazy how he defended the game in my DMs, bro. Holy. Was lost in the sauce. Hold on, 15 spirit?
Similar to PoE 1, the map device is used to access...
Now we were talking about Jiggy Spice. Stockholm Syndrome. Because Jiggy Spice has been hating it for a New World since the actual launch, and he always comes back, dude. Not gonna lie, I wouldn't be surprised if he uninstalled and installed the game for 20 times. Arrow is back in New World, I've noticed. Yeah.
PoE 2's core endgame, mapping. The world map can be scrolled infinitely in any direction, but to travel to a map, it must be connected to the starting point. So you need to progress outwards, and you can only travel to each map.
What do we talk about? 2 about 15 spirits.
Sockets.
Yo, Mikers with a tier 1 sub, my dude, my man. I appreciate the support. Thank you very much. Welcome to the club. Congrats on the badge and emotes. Yiki emotes. Yiki. Moze kurva. Let me get some hype in the chat, man. Let me get some hype up in this joint. Is there a new BG already or some old shit? Dude, they have released a roadmap where they talked about doing a new map for OPR. But who knows how far that is, bro. Who knows how far that is, dude. So yeah, they're planning on making one.
And you can place soul cores in these sockets to provide additional modifiers based on the item type.
Oh, you mean this one right here? This is from the soul core. Oh, okay, Tui. I see you. That's not bad. PvP server soon, boys. True, and also they're doing PvP servers, so they're dividing the player racing more. You know a lot of Czech words? To protože jsem možná I Czech, hele. Kurwa fuck, right? Something like that? Yes, sir. It's the same in the Polish and the Czech. So this is Polish. First one is second one's Czech. It's about temples and more meetings. Yeah, it does, yeah. Kurwa is also a hooker, a hoe. I'm not gonna say it out loud. I mean, we're on a platform, aka Twitch, which is for little kids after all, right? If you can get multiple of same runes, it has to be good, so good. True, dude, true. Jsem nikdy nepoznal, ani si nevšiml. Prostě jsem, no. Only know in Croatian. Oh, that sounds pretty similar as well. On to zakrývá. Možná trošičku. I just tapped back and see kurva and my mind is simpleton. I had to say it out loud. Why, Tommy? What's up, my man? Hey, yo, no judging here, bro. That's all good. That's all good, man. I like you reading that, reading that. Multiple same. You mean two-way? You mean like the soul cores on more items giving spirit? This soul core only gives spirit on the weapon though. Let me roll it back and show you. I think because they all do this do different stats for armor and weapons. I'm rolling back, right? Yeah. See right here, 15 spirit to weapons and increase rarity on items. Oh, this is a good one, dude. It's good. I'm Polish, so is kurwa the same for Croatians like the meaning? Croatians? Not sure. I know it's the same for us Czech people. Czech dudes. Czechians. Multiple sockets in the weapon. Oh, true. Oh, you're right. Is it 2? Is it max 2? Dual wield. True. Yeah, I will be. It's 4 sockets. If that's 2. You can get 3 sockets in one weapon. In hell, dude. You know Croatian from her ex-fiance? Ach so. Eastern Bloc be Eastern blocking. Guys is jealous, man. This guy's hating because he's jealous. Yo. PDE all they had to. Agents made on YouTube. Sounds like one more aura blasphemy setup. True, dude. True. That's a lot of spirits. But what would you sacrifice for the extra spirits? I know there's attack speed on the weapons. I guess damage increase as well. But yeah, could be good.
Based on the item type. In the endgame version of this mechanic, the Trial Master is the pinnacle boss. Similar to PoE 1, the map device is used to access PoE 2's core endgame, mapping. The world map can be scrolled infinitely in any direction, but to travel to a map it must be connected to the starting point, so you need to progress outwards, and you can only travel to each map once. You'll find a variety of different mechanics on the world map, and each map will provide a list of its contents, such as whether or not it will contain a map boss, or if it contains
it's 2 AM right now.
like Breach or Expedition.
Fuck.
There are also a bunch of other things to find, like roving merchants, towers, and even cities. Towers are structures that can be modified with tablets, which provide a radius effect to all surrounding maps, adding content such as breaches. These tablets can be found in their specific mechanics. To go to a map, you need to place a waystone in the map device, and waystones have tiers. This is essentially map tiers from PoE 1. Waystones can be rolled with modifiers. Prefixes are upsides, while suffixes are downsides. Core mapping will have an atlas tree with up to 30 points to be spent, and each league mechanic has its own mini atlas tree. An Uber pinnacle boss is accessible via the monolith on the world map. You need to kill 3 surrounding Uber act bosses for their keys to enter. Now, aside from the 2 essential...
Wait. It's 2 lieutenants for 3 factions, so 6 bosses, no?
Via the monolith on the world map tree, and it's to be spent. And each league mechanic has its own mini atlas tree. An Uber pinnacle boss is accessible via the monolith on the world map. You need to kill 3 surrounding Uber act bosses for their keys to enter. Now, aside...
Isn't it false information? Isn't it 2 bosses for each faction, and you have 3 factions? Okay, 2 lieutenants for each faction. 6 mini bosses, 3 Uber bosses. Oh, you gotta kill those mini bosses to unlock the specific pinnacle boss, and that specific pinnacle boss will drop you a key for the big boss. I see. Thank you.
Aside from the 2 Ascension trials previously mentioned, there will be a bunch of other additional endgame grinds, and these are all in-map mechanics. Breach is one of those endgame grinds. Opening a breach in a map will spawn monsters, and the faster you can kill those monsters,
charge by the hour, not a big deal.
An exclusive...
You know what, instead of some charging chat, if you could do me a favor, go follow my big man in the chat, Mr. Great Sajan. Not only he's a GigaChat streamer and a PoE player with 40,000 hours, but they even put him in the game. There's a boss in 3rd act called Silverback. That's him right there. Make sure to check him out.
The reward of Breach is catalysts, which apply quality to jewelry, improving the magnitude of specific modifier types.
Should be good, man.
Breach
I think
rings
Breach,
can also be found,
first one.
which have the special implicit maximum quality is 50%, allowing the catalyst quality to scale relevant modifiers even further. You'll also find Breach Splinters. 300 splinters will assemble into a Breach Stone, which allows you to access the pinnacle boss of this endgame grind, Zesht, We Who Are One.
Even is very long. Yeah. And this is only 3 acts, right? Can you imagine with all 6? God damn. Yeah, damn. It's well more than Havoc did 8 hours, act 1 to 3 without side content. Wow. And then you gotta do it again on the cruel difficulty, right? Before you get to endgame. That's pretty crazy.
Defeating this boss will increase the difficulty of this entire mechanic and provide...
It'll be long for starters, but they will, you will not let you down. True. Yeah. I hope for some cool story and cinematics during campaign. Cinematics will be cool, dude. Probably hard to get to do, but like maybe they will have it for launch. I doubt it. But I don't know. We'll see. But like the trailer, it was amazing, right? The cinematic trailer. That was cool. For the story.
Atlas tree points for the Breach tree, which you can spend to specialize this endgame grind. Expedition is another endgame grind, which is seemingly unchanged from PoE 1. Players will place explosives to unearth monsters, and remnants can be exploded to increase the difficulty whilst improving the rewards. Completing encounters will reward currency that can be spent at special expedition vendors, such as ROG, who will help you craft items. Logbooks can be found from expedition encounters, which are essentially full maps.
These gloves are beautiful, bro. Beautiful. Maybe not so much the leech.
Covered in a giant expedition encounter with more explosives to plant. Completing the most difficult expedition encounters, which include bosses, will reward expedition tree points to spend and specialize the content. Another endgame grind is Ritual, which is very similar to its PoE 1 implementation. In maps, you'll find Ritual altars. Interacting with an altar will spawn monsters that were killed in the Ritual circle. but each previous ritual altar completion will also add its monsters to the pool, increasing the difficulty of each subsequent altar. Killing monsters rewards tribute, a currency that can be spent to choose rewards, known as favors, from a selection screen upon interacting with a completed altar. Omens are a reward that can only be obtained from ritual encounters. These are power...
Mr. Mashed Broccoli with the follow, thank you very much. What class are you starting with? Narzil? I think he's doing Mage. Saucer? Or Monk, I'm not sure. Either of those two.
Powerful crafting tools in PoE 2. The King in the Mists is the pinnacle boss of this mechanic, and defeating him will reward ritual tree points to spend and increase the difficulty of this mechanic. Delirium...
Yeah, but like what skills though?
...is another returning mechanic from PoE 1 and another in-map endgame grind for PoE 2. Upon entering a map with Delirium present, you'll find a mirror that can be walked through to add a mist across the map. The mist will modify and add new monsters. During Delirium encounters, you'll be able to find distilled emotions, which are essentially like blight oils from PoE 1. They'll allow you to add a passive tree notable to your amulet, now known as Instilling, and you'll also be able to use them on maps to add more juice. And that's it, a brief overview of Path of Exile 2's endgame system for its early access launch. Thanks for watching this video.
Trinko right here,
always,
absolute legends.
Stay tuned.
Boys, how is it past 2 AM? I totally lost track of time. You know what that means? I'll have to bounce. Because tomorrow I have to finally clean my apartment before the big grind. I got to, man. It's wild out here. It's wild. Then we do some YouTube, then we do some gym, and then we are back at it again. All that. Hold on, right there with the Greek, with the follow. Thank you as well, my dude. Appreciate it, appreciate it. I gotta clean mine too. I know, Spats. Especially you with new PC. And yeah, I gotta clean my PC tomorrow as well. Could also be huge for party players. True, dude. That'll be crazy, bro. It'll be crazy. Messy AF. The worst thing is I don't want to do that at all. It takes me fucking ages, bro. That's the worst. What's up, Thunders? What's up, dude? Play December 6th. Log in now. Kiwi Pet and the other one is Baby Crowbell. Okay, double pets, huh? One's gonna be sick, yeah, dude, for real. For sure. Still think I'm gonna start Witch or Infernalist. Finally, someone going for Infernalist, man. I find very few people going for that class. Ascendancy, I'll log in. Anyway, guys, almost 4 hours stream today. Not bad, considering how late I got here. But once again, Thursday we are giving away keys. 1 or 2, not too sure right now, but I will have more keys to give away on the launch date or in the weekend, Saturday and Sunday. And I will try to get more and more keys for you guys. More and more stacking, okay? So, yeah. I'll work on some YouTube guides as well until launch, like for endgame summary, for example. I do have a build as well, or my build ideas, excuse me, and then plans for early access if you want to take a look at that on YouTube. I'm going with Titan, 2 2-handers, Slammer as well. Gonna be absolute blast. And with that, I gotta say my good nights and goodbyes, chat. With that, I got to bounce. But don't you worry, tomorrow we're gonna be back at it again. Tomorrow there is a Season 7 PTR launch for Diablo 4, so we gotta check it out. To kill some time before the release, right? Gonna do it probably for 2 days, Tuesday and Wednesday. And Thursday we're back at it with some PoE 2. Hopefully we get some more news in the meantime. But yeah, you guys have a great one. Until next time, I'm out of here and peace out. Thanks for being here, by the way. Both double YouTubes and Twitch as well. Absolute chance. Alright, peace. Good night, good night.